Okay.
We are streaming.
Well, it says we're streaming, but really, it'll be a few seconds. Probably right now, I can say hello to the people of the future.
Hello.
All of the people in the future who don't watch live, who watch later, hello. Hope you're having a great day. For evening or morning. I don't know as much information when you're in the future, because I am in the past. As you can tell by my Sweet Beast Man t-shirt. But I digress.
Sharing too.
Are you sharing? That is Ron Sheps, Blackcraft 27, Rodney Pope, Mike Cherzanowski, IC Monsters, Susan Atai, hello, Christine Salvati, Chad Smith, Masked Slasher. Hello, sir. Okay, so currently I have these two blokes here in the way. I'm going to move them so that I can put the werewolves over here.
All right, we are sharing.
Hooray!
Hello, White's Hot. It has been a while. I was off for the holidays. Ken Zarish says hello. Rachel Little says hello. Pops on the Tube says hello, Harry time.
Okay, awkward.
Gregory Haynes says hi, guys. Rachel Little says I'm enjoying a Coke Zero in your honor.
Hooray! I too am enjoying a Coke Zero.
Love for Tink says hello. Janet Whittle says hi.
Hi. Hi.
Hey, you guys.
I am moving
Stuff.
werewolves.
Fondine says hey, hey, hey.
Hey, Fondine, it's been a while. Glad to see you on. Hope you had a good holiday.
White's Hot says I've been crazy busy working, plowing, salting roads.
That's awesome, and many people appreciate you. Except for that guy in the Prius who you snowed over. But he's probably a jerk anyhow.
Ron Shep says, how's the new internet working?
You tell me. I have no idea. Right now, I think it's working well, but you know, we'll see.
So far, so good.
I got brand new internet today. I got a taller tower for my interwebs. So yes.
Michelle Schulte says, evening everyone. Susan Atai says, hello Rue and Stacy.
Yes, Rue and Stacy are here.
Why hello. Tina Kusiak says, hi everyone. 1980 says, coming in 5 by 5.
I don't know what that means, but great. Thanks.
Seems like that's good.
Yeah.
Love for Tink says, very clear picture.
Awesome. Yeah, that's good. And we shouldn't have any of the issues we were having.
Mass Laughter says, when Clay arrives tomorrow, now we're just going to figure out what to make. Any ideas?
Yes, I think that you should make Brethren for the Doom Shroom, but take it up a notch. Doom Shroom is lovely, but he's a little on the cartoony side. Take it to a terrifying side. You know what I mean? Make it scarier. You know, make it a scarier fungal mask. Do a fungal series, and I think that would be lovely.
Lanny Williams says, hello Alan and everyone.
Hello.
Ron Shep says, hey Stacy and Rue. Hi Ron.
Rue, go say hi to folks.
Mike Cherzanowski says, it looks a lot sharper. Beth Williams says, good evening. Fondine says, new job has been working evenings all the time. Blackcraft 27 says, I'm ordering my Zombie Snail t-shirt tonight. Can't wait for it to get here.
Awesome.
Rodney Pope says, hello Stacy and Rue. Hello.
Hello.
Lyman Thor also says hi to Alan and Stacy and Creepers. Not to Rue.
Not to me. No.
Larry Hughes says, good evening. 1980 says, picture so clear I can almost read the air compressor in the other room.
Whoa.
Lisa
Whoa.
Arendt says, good evening. Blackcraft 27 says, hey Rue.
Normally that's where I hide.
Just me that time.
Yep.
That's what we call a sympathy hello. Yeah, you were not thought of in the original batch. However, when they came back around, there's also
Yeah,
a
Lyman
light.
Thor says, hi Rue.
They also put a light under the camera so it's brighter. Now it's probably really pointing the wrong way because I am still largely inept.
Lisa Arendt says, are we getting a post-cleanup tour?
Yes. You're assuming we've cleaned up.
Black
The other
27.
room, we may show you the other room as best as possible later.
You can get a ways in there. Blackcraft 27 says, the video and audio is insanely good now.
That is the new shiny interwebs. All we have the issue with is the shaky cam because Rue is helping.
I'm helping.
1980 says, did you get a TikTok ring light?
No, I got a square light. It's a square light. It's just a regular camera LED panel light.
Poison Sumac says,
It's a
hey, y'all.
rectangle. Hello, Poison Sumac.
That does work.
Rue?
I'm helping.
Quit it. Oh, I think we're getting a Texas earthquake. You're still messing with it.
Well, you're off. Now you're good. I'm done.
Barbara
My work here is
Saletti
done.
says, hey everyone. Jennifer Pugh says hello.
Who said hey everyone?
Barbara Saletti.
Hello Barbara, thank you for joining us this evening. And then Jennifer pew pew pew.
1980 says, motion sickness warning. Christine Salvati says, I just finished a marathon of your last 2 videos while I sewed today, and now it's video game time while I listen. It's an art day.
Awesome. What video game are you playing?
Lisa Arendt says, Rue, Stacy, and Stan.
No stand.
Stan is not here tonight. He was helping a moose with back spasms. He had to give a deep moose massage so that the moose could relax.
A massage.
Yeah, massage.
Paul Bennett says, I'm scared of wolves. LOL, just kidding.
Okay. Oh, werewolves. Got it. Yes. Paul with the jokes.
Realm says hi.
Hey, Realms.
Ken Zarish says, crystal clear.
Hooray.
Ron Shep says, gotta go take some
Ooh.
Dramamine now.
That's what
What?
we need.
Well, oh, we do need one of these on the board. However, grab yourself one of these because you're going to hear this one while I hear this one.
Okay.
Blackcraft 27 says, I bet he was wearing moose socks as well.
He probably is wearing moose
liquid
socks.
nails.
I know that he has moose socks.
Moose socks.
I know that's true. I have found that I don't want to put a ton of hair ready to go because something will happen to it.
Realm says, how are y'all?
Realms, I think we're good.
John
I
C
think
says hello.
We are lovely. Hey, John C. And Rue, when you come back in, please close that door so other room noises don't bother them.
Yep. Will do. Silicone too, right?
You could use silicone too, or could use, yeah, that's fine.
Living on the Bluff says hello.
Hello, living on the bluff.
Living on the Bluff.
Whoa.
Paul Bennett says, is one of the wolves deaf like me? I'm being silly.
It could be, yes, sure.
We can just cut off ears.
Mike Cherzanowski says, what color are those eyes? It's nice.
Those eyes. These are actually a fluorescent glow-in-the-dark orange.
With yellow behind them.
Yes.
Barbara Saletti says, that is a beautiful werewolf.
You know what? I didn't sculpt it, and I think you're right.
Ian Cash says, hey y'all.
Hey.
Lita Richardson says, hello. Any Arctic white fur on the wolves or just brown gray ones?
Right now, these guys are brown and gray.
Lisa Arendt says, wool for both wolves.
Yes, we're going to go caracal wool for both.
But there will be an Arctic white wolf in the future. At some point. Might get on camera at some point. We'll see.
Okay.
Because Rue's gonna make one.
I think I have a white werewolf in the other room, in the garden, food building.
There's someone?
Yeah.
Maybe Rue's not gonna make one.
I see. You're
All right.
still going to make one, it's just to
So-
replace the one I was going to make.
So since they're both here, do you want to flip a coin real quick for our guest moderator tonight? One of our special Patreon features?
Sure. Who's going to guest moderate?
We have 2 that have volunteered.
Okay.
Tina Kusiak and Lisa Arendt.
Awesome.
So let me grab you a quota.
And when do we get them?
They're
Or are we doing it?
they're here. Both of them are here, so we're gonna.
Oh, and they're moderating tonight.
They're gonna be moderating tonight.
Oh, so listen. If I say, put them in timeout for 5 minutes for like asking about clowns or something, you do it. That's how it goes.
All right.
Okay, well, hold on. Now, which one is tails and which one is heads?
You can decide.
I can't,
You can.
because tails always wins.
Do they?
Tails always wins. I don't think I've ever flipped a coin and it been heads. So you pick which one is which. I hate now I've armed her with that knowledge, so now she knows.
All right. Lisa's heads, just because I can see her on screen
Okay,
right
and who is tails?
now. Tina Kusiak.
Tina tails, Lisa heads. I did the whole double flip thing.
Lisa
Heads!
Lisa called heads. Boom.
It's
all right.
heads.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, heads. Ooh. Quarters over
And
there.
that's gone.
right.
Are they both getting multiple?
That's the reward for someone who sweeps the shop. Yeah, they're both getting the same.
Lisa,
You know
you
how
are
to
now
Yeah, I got a whole
moderator.
quarter.
Oh, they're moderating. Lisa's moderating.
Got your blue wrench.
I feel like I should behave myself. We have an adult in the room.
Chad Smith said, I made the switch today, bought UltraCal.
Awesome. I
This
don't
is
think
not
that's
going
bad.
off.
Watch. Hold on. Okay, so here's how you do this.
Oh, it's
Hold it at the very end,
Mm-hmm.
and then hold it about this far back.
Mm-hmm.
And then just separate.
And it for you.
Well, it's going to do it again, too. Watch, watch. Hold it about this far back,
And
and then it just
Lift and
separates.
separate.
Rue was
Lift
tugging
and
on it
separate.
for all he was
And
worth.
separate.
Not lift and separate, just hold and separate.
Christine Salvati says,
Oh, and
I'm
then you're cutting
playing
it in half.
Red Dead
Well,
Redemption
it's
2.
so-
You're an outlaw cowboy riding around on a horse, and the story takes place about 5 years after the Civil War. It's a fantastic game, and I'm not a huge gamer.
Which one is it?
Red Dead
Red
Redemption 2.
Okay, I actually had to play Red Dead Redemption 1 in order to do some studying for a Western haunted house that I was designing. So I played Red Dead Redemption 1.
Hugo says hello.
Hello, Hugo.
Whoa, those are nice.
Happen Emoji says today's the day for heads.
Now this looks long,
Mhm.
so I'm going to hold both ends of it and I'm just going to pull. And it's separated. So now I know I have a little bit extra. And I want that cut edge. So this piece here, I will cut in the middle. Like this. And now, and I'm not even going to put it on that thick. I'm going to take a piece of this. Like this much. Watch me. Like this much. And I'm going to spread it out.
Okay.
Because I don't want to try and put a clump on there. I know not all of it will grab silicone.
I have to drop it down just a hair. There we go. Dirty Santa says, send in the clowns. Realms.
If I get anything on my fingers, then I wipe it on my pants.
Realm says, the coffin
That's how
pneumatic
you do it.
zombie is killing me because I can't figure out how to mount the scissor bar and the angle.
Yeah, well, what you could do is you could do where the bottom bar just pushes straight, but that, and then you have this piece attached up here, and here's your scissor mech, and then when this pushes straight out, it actually separates them, but also if you leave this on one clevis at the bottom, and there's a pivot here, then as this pushes, it'll also go up, and it'll angle up and out, and that might be something worth trying.
Sons of Wayne says, dogs might eat that coin.
No, they will not eat a coin.
Tutwork Studios says, hello.
And if they do, it's only a quarter, they can pass it.
You passed this test.
Lisa Arendt says, woot, do I have self-pardoning power?
Oh, I don't know. We haven't discussed this.
Tina Kusiak is an excellent sport, says, have fun, Lisa.
Well, I think that she'll get her turn
Yep.
eventually.
Lion Thor says, Lisa's blue now. Blackrep 27 says, can someone please post a link for the
See?
t-shirts? I can't seem to remember the website.
This is why we have guest moderators.
That's right.
See?
Lisa with the wrench, says John C.
Way too much hanging over out here.
Okay.
Hi, Hugo.
See how clean this edge is?
Okay.
So we don't want that much. Like, here's what I do, is I lay it on there and I pop it in, and then I can let go. I do not want it all over the place.
Okay.
I want it just right there.
Gregory Haynes says, we're seeing none of it now, too low. I guess he was talking about your hands earlier. You're fine here. 1980 says, how to tell a cowboy from a city slicker. Crips says, greeting.
Hey again, Crips. Hope things are well for you.
1980 says, ask them if they ever rode a quarter horse. Ba-doom-tsh.
Dum, dum.
Oh, 1980.
Realm says, oh my god, thanks. Barbara Soletti says, dueling werewolves.
Not dueling. No, we're cooperating werewolves. We're cooperating. Werewolves are animals of peace. We live in the nature kingdom of happiness.
Scott Colehart is here. Hello, everyone.
Hello, Scott Colehart.
Scott, you've got a guest moderator tonight. That's Lisa Arentz. Show her the ropes.
Yes. Hopefully, she already popped up the Teespring link,
Not yet.
and she's really on top of that.
Bunker versus Lisa, you're up.
I am merciless. Luckily, she completed the half-hour training course for moderators already, and so she knows all the things.
Lisa says, the pressure. Gonna have to figure that out. Scott, help. Chad Smith says, feels like I'm taking an online course, sculpting with you guys on the big screen.
That's awesome. I love that. What are you sculpting, sir? And I know that like Christmas is past, but don't be afraid to knock out more Yule lads. I would urge you though to make them a little scarier.
Lisa says, I can't figure it out on my phone. I'm here as a bouncer.
Oh, I got it. You're the muscle.
In that case, Scott, will you put up the Teespring link?
Yeah, someone was asking about Teespring. They probably want a zombie snail shirt because that's what people want out of their
That's
lives.
hot, yo. Hot, hot, hot.
Blackcraft 27, this is Lisa. Scott, help. She's the one looking for he's the one looking for the other thing. Mass Slasher says, looking awesome. Rob O'Brien says, should be rowdy and see what Lisa does.
Yeah. Talk about ducks. Is that a dog bark or an owl?
I think that was a dog bark.
How's it going, Rue?
Fine. Mike Murphy says, hello, maker of monsters.
Hey, Mike Murphy.
Queer Pass says, hello, Texas. Munich is watching. Greet Mario.
Hello. I was to say, hey, Mario.
It's me, Mario. 1980 says, people are on the trail for some snail.
This clump, Rue, don't encourage it. Rue, this clump is a little too big because you don't have
The
a
bottom.
lot of it. Yes.
Yeah, it'll get thin.
Okay.
I have a plan.
It's harder to thin on than it is.
It is,
Chad Smith says, I wondered if that was...
but I realized it as I did it.
So I wonder that, even though it wasn't Christmas. Working on an alien.
Yeah, you just work on it now, and then you've got them to sell later.
Thank you, Scott Colehart, for linking the Teespring merch.
Alan, grab us a present.
Agua.
I don't need no present.
Ron Sheps asked, are the eyes UV paint?
Yes. Sometimes after I fan, I cleaned up with the scissors.
Riot Demon says, just a suggestion, make a text file all the important links so you can just copy and drop into the description of every video.
That's how Scott's so fast.
Mass Slasher says, I'm currently at work, so I'll be popping in on and off. Unfortunately, work frowns upon you being on your phone.
How dare they?
How dare they?
Tina
What kind of job
Kusiak
is
says,
that?
could we have a version of Zombie Snail on the front side of the shirt?
Yes, we can. I will message Stan.
Realm says, I wish there was better videos on how to make a pneumatic prop because I can only find a few, like, on how to make a creature coming out of the roof?
Creature crate. It should say creature crate or crate creature.
CRESER. But it's Realm, so he's probably using voice to text.
Yes.
Habit and Mojo says, who did the werewolf sculpt? It's quite good. The muzzle is perfect, in my opinion.
There is, I forget. Lanny Williams, it's their company, and hopefully we still have that link.
I think they're watching tonight.
They're
too.
watching. You can say who did the sculpt, and you can say where it's available, please, if you will.
Susan Atai says, are the paints going on sale soon?
Yes, soon. I was going to have Stan here today, but Stan could not make it, so it'll be later this week when we get started and rolling, and hopefully next week we're going to have some paints for sale.
Whoop, whoop. Christine Salvati says, I'm finally digging into the chocolate orange I got for Christmas. I know they are a love it or hate it thing, but man, I forgot how good they are.
Oh, they're my favorite.
Shannon
Yeah, I
loves
love them
them.
too. I got one
Shannon
for Christmas
loves
for the first time in a couple of years, and I was very excited.
We usually get them for Christmas, and we did not this year.
I am, the constant struggle with the chocolate orange is not to eat it all in one sitting, because I will do that and make myself sick.
Isn't that what they're for? See, you're the kind of amateur who still gets sick.
Listen, I gotta
I
space
can
that
eat a
thing
whole
out.
chocolate orange and feel nothing but happiness.
Chad Smith says, I think Diablo has a video on building a scissor mech.
He has a couple. But Rob Ives has the best stuff for animatronics. Rob Ives. And that doesn't... It's just mechanism explanation, which is lovely.
Mike Cherzanowski says, drop dead design.
There you go. Yes. My brain will remember your name, or your YouTube name, or your company's name. Requiring me to remember all three will get poor results. Get poor results. Stacy,
Yes.
how's the werewolf? Is it in?
Yeah.
That's good?
Yep.
Okay. I did add a light to the mic stand, hoping that would help your guys' experience a little bit.
Realm says, so sorry, I'm drawing and I meant to say, I wish there were better vids on how to make a creature breaking through the ceiling, kind of like poison props.
Okay. Yeah, poison props is pretty, they're up there as far as their mechs go. If you're building like your first one, I would do either a head turn mechanism, or start with a simple pop-up, then do a lid lifter. Like there's an order that I would go in to learn mechanics. And then graduate to a 4-bar or a scissor mech.
Happen Mojo says, how do you spell Rob Ives?
Robivies.
Yeah. Riot Demon says, the light looks nice. Beth Williams says, mask was sculpted by Alfredo Morial, a good friend of ours. The mask can be purchased from dropdeaddesignstudios.com, already painted. Hoyt's Haunt says, holy smokes, just turned on this new 65-inch TV with you on. Awesome quality. And hi, Rue.
Hi.
I got new interwebs today. I definitely got new internets.
Rob O'Brien says, I'm loving Stacey's rainbow hair. Thank you.
It's
Oh,
at
no.
least, it's half the rainbow spectrum, but it's not like all of it.
Not all of it. We had a buffer, Row. Chat disconnected, reconnected. Now we're buffering.
Okay.
Icy Monster says, hi Stacey, I like your hair color. Thank you. Kitty Kusiak says, I love your hair. Thank you. Christine Salvati says, there is a raspberry flavored chocolate orange. I've been doing this all wrong.
There is. Rue, do you have that soda that's next to you? That should be next to me.
Sure.
Ron Shep says, temporarily it was me. Oh, okay. Well, good.
We should not be buffered. That is not the service I paid for.
Rob O'Brien says she makes up the rest of the rainbow. Beth Williams says live feed looks amazing. Jennifer Pugh says mine buffered too.
Pew, pew, pew.
Pew, pew, pew.
And that could be in between us, you know. I ought to be good on my end. Doesn't mean I'm always going to be good on my end. The way my internet works, if an owl comes and sits on my antenna and his tail covers it up, well, it's going to buffer.
Jennifer Pugh says maybe I'm on the same thing as Ron. I think
See that?
it was a bobble on our end because we had the chat disconnect for a second, so. John C says that's Stacey's natural color. She's been coloring it light brown.
That's right.
You're not wrong.
Rue's color is afro.
Ooh, that's a flavor, not a color.
Hello, doggo.
And I'm going, because this hair is kind of shorter, I'm going about every 3/4 of an inch. And don't be stingy.
Don't be stingy.
How's your guys' view? Can you see enough?
Lita Richardson says, is it my screen or are you guys blurry? It doesn't look blurry here. Check your resolution, your screen resolution on YouTube.
Yes, because if your resolution is 720, we should be good. But if it's not, if your resolution is not set to 720, or if it's auto or something, then it's probably not going to be as good.
Sky Colhart says, no buffering here, looks great. Lisa Arendt says, how was your holiday, Rue and Stacy? It was good, mine was good. Low key. We did not a lot of things.
As you were supposed to.
Aye. Bella.
Happen Emoji says no buffering, very clear here on the other side of the world. Rob O'Brien says nice and clear, like Big Thor, looks good on my end.
I'm just silently judging you.
No, I noticed.
Susan Natai says it's super sharp here.
You're faster at this than I am. How many times have you done this?
This is actually the first one of these masks I've done.
Of these masks.
Ron Shep says, Alan, can you move down a bit? Can't see the bottom of your werewolf. Or just scoot the whole thing back a bit.
Slouch, Alan. First time anybody's ever told you to do that.
Michelle Schulte says, Stacy, I ordered that book, Tales from the Enchanted World, today, and a couple of others. That's awesome. It is one of my very favorites. Christopher Lazelle says, good evening.
Hello, Christopher Lizzle.
Not my fault. You don't need hard to use.
See, I'm just using little bits, just like that, and I fan it out to about 1 inch. And that's what I put on.
Oh, let's cut over here.
Yeah, I don't need it. The worst thing you can do is try and put on too much at once. And I keep thinking that the microphone is on the camera. So the closer I get to the camera, the quieter I am, because that's what I have to use to do on my phone. But now I have to remember the microphone is behind me. And they probably hear Cheney walking around in here.
Laura Kirchhoff says, hey, you awesome peeps. Hi, Laura.
Hey, Laura. Happy New Year, Laura.
Happy New Year.
Miss you, buddy.
I didn't get a call for bail money, so I assume you had a good and quiet New Year.
So it must have gone well.
Yeah. Or she got away with it.
Ron Shep says, thanks. Riot Demon says, this werewolf has a serious neckbeard right now.
Oh yeah, yeah. That we're going for full neckbeard action.
About an inch.
Beth Williams says, Rue and Allen love the hair.
You know what? This hair. Can you angle that screen a little bit so I can see what the framing is a little better?
Yep.
Thank you. Yeah. So this hair here, it has a coarseness to it that I really like. It is absolutely my favorite from that place. The Woolery, we'll call it.
Going to take us. It's way longer than the other hair, but boy does it look.
It took me 3 hours to do the other Wolfman, but this is a much smaller head, so I anticipate
2?
Not as much time.
hour and a half. Mine should be done in about an hour and a half.
Rob O'Brien says, back to your original Culk.
Yeah, I mean, it's, while technically I varied, they're so close to the same thing, you know.
June Ritchie says, hi everyone, audio is great from all.
Hello, June Ritchie.
Riot Demon says, is this the caracal wool again?
Yes. I told Mikey Severe that I did his mask in caracal wool, and he said, you did it in awesome wool.
Blackcraft27 says, that's the same wool you were using last stream, right?
Yes. The only one that did not get this wool was the black Wolfman 2020 because it had to match an existing costume. And a lot of times Rue will have a curl to it, and use that curl kind of to your advantage.
Yeah, to fill the.
Like anything on the bottom of the neck, you want it to kind of curl out so it doesn't just itchy, scratchy the actor's neck. And this one is going to go to the Williamses.
The Williamses.
And or Drop Dead Design Studios, I think is the right name. Or is it?
I believe that was.
Yeah.
That was right.
Oh, that was good.
Mike Trzanowski says, we hear everything as we learned. Yesterday we listened to Waterfalls off camera.
Hooray! that was me tinkling.
Waterfalls.
Don't go chasing them.
Yeah.
Don't go chasing those waterfalls.
Just stick to the rivers and the lakes that you used to.
That's right.
Don't chase. No chasing. 5 steps.
Okay.
Such a bad odd reference. I'm glad Stacy laughed.
Oh.
Yeah, because my rule is 3 steps, so you're already breaking.
Who says 5 steps?
People don't listen to me.
Somebody that doesn't listen to you.
Probably all my actor trainers.
Yes.
Alan says
I'm
3
pretty sure
steps,
Bobby.
but we say 5 steps.
Pretty sure that was Bobby.
That way they can be good cop. And I'm bad cop.
All right, so now you have to explain because we
Yeah,
talked
what
about
we're referring to, what we are referring to is when I do actor training, I say never chase a customer more than 3 steps. Because how does every chase end? In a crash, you know? That's how it ends. As a haunt monster, you don't want to catch them, like that wouldn't work out. So it's only gonna end if they crash. And then you walk away and pretend you weren't involved.
John C. says the black hair still came out good.
Yeah, it just came out black. You know, black hair is black.
Thank you, Scott Colehart, for sharing the Woolery.com link.
Yeah, this is where this comes from. And I was turned on to these guys a while back by a website when I was helping somebody with a Chewbacca costume. And then Russ Turk reminded me of it. Because he uses, he doesn't use this stuff a lot, he uses other stuff for his werewolves and things, so, yeah. And I want to dye this, because I think this would dye well.
Oh, I bet it would.
So just dye a couple backlight, and dye this the colors that I want, because the coarseness cannot be beat. If you do it right, it would take the dye differently because these colors are so variegated. And I'm just tapping it with my finger in order to get all of it saturated. I don't want any dry hair.
Realms asks, do you have a werewolf costume?
I have a couple, yes. I have a brown werewolf and I have a gray werewolf and I have interchangeable heads.
Jeff Bull says, sorry I'm late. Looks like you have help tonight.
I do. I have Rue and I have Stacy on comments. I gave the crew the days off in between Christmas and New Year's because not a lot happens. So all those I did with just me and the wife, which was wonderful. Also differently wonderful, let's call it.
Laura Kirchhoff says, don't chase them more than 3 steps unless there's a golf cart involved.
Right. Oh yeah. Yeah. I said steps. And if you're chasing them down on a golf cart, you're not stepping anywhere aside from on the gas pedal.
Riot Demon says, you mean during Halloween I shouldn't be chasing people down the street?
Correct.
Lisa Arendt says, does the wool have a smell?
Let's find out together.
No. Not really.
Huh, that's
So
wool.
weird. You're so weird.
Faint hints of barnyard and just the faintest hint of urine. But that's way in there. Like there's some ammonia notes. Yeah. Yeah. Kind of a little bit of the barnyard happening. You want to turn? Here you go.
I'm concerned
Here you go.
for you, Alan.
What? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Are you getting the barnyard?
It's definitely a little barnyard.
Yeah, the urine is a bit of a back end, you know? Yeah.
I get barnyard.
Realms asks, how much are your werewolf costumes?
So I have several degrees of werewolf costume. I have a werewolf promo costume kit that is $300, and then I have a werewolf full costume. I think it's $600. Yeah, I think it's $600. And then I have a $900 stilt werewolf costume. So there are levels.
Amy Reed asks, what are you attaching that with? Caulk?
Amy Reed, Yes, this
I know
is
that
clear
Hi,
caulking.
Amy.
Hi, Amy.
Yes, Amy works with Rue, Stacy, and I at dark hour. But not like that. She works away from dark hour, doing work for dark hour.
Jennifer Pugh says wool huffing on Stilby's Live.
And right now, no one's really doing anything at dark hour
That's true.
because of the way of the world.
We're all slackers, that's why.
Right. Yeah, we're just tired.
Habit and Mojo says it's probably the lanolin smell.
Oh my gosh,
What?
I forgot about it.
About what?
I forgot a part.
Well, fix it.
I thought I was doing good until I realized I turned it farther, because I did second layer already on this side. I haven't finished first layer on this side.
Well, I'm on 4.
Thank you, Scott Colhart, for sharing the Caracal Wool link.
Thanks, Scott.
Riot Demon says, sheep are so stinky. I used to live on an island in Norway and someone raised sheep. That section of the island stunk to high heavens.
That's awesome.
They are.
I never lived in Norway. I would go hunting for trolls all the time. And
My
I
aunt
found
and
one.
uncle owned a sheep farm,
I would punch them.
and yeah, it was pretty gross.
There's a certain kind of sheep that just looks like another animal stuffed into a sheep suit. And I have to find it because it's my favorite kind of sheep.
John C. says, people used to stomp wool and linen in a vat of old urine with their bare feet.
Good times.
Those were the
Yeah,
days.
right. But 2020 is over now, guys. So now we can
You don't have to do that. You
yeah.
can move on.
we don't have to do it that way. How's it going?
Nothing.
Nothing. That's how it's going.
It's not the right answer at all. In no context is that the correct answer. And if this is too janky for me, then right now I'm just going to cut it.
Just trim it up.
Just recut it.
Oh, it's not. That's a good idea.
And see how this curves? Like right now I've got a little bit that curves. I'm
Yeah,
going
see,
to
that's-
curve that hair.
I lost paying attention for a second, and I curled it right into actor neck, like you told me not to.
You know what? That's not a problem. It's just not the most comfortable for the actor.
Happen Mojo says, now they put it on the internet.
If I can get through the night without having sheep parts rub on my neck, it's a better night than when I don't.
Kalisha F says, good evening, Alan Rue, Creepers and Creepers crew. And yes, Miss Stacy giving me sassy New Year hair vibes. Thank you.
Sassy New Year hair vibe.
That's right.
Sassy New
That's-
Year.
What an estrogen-soaked sentence that is. That's a man-kissing sentence.
Well, seeing as I am of the man kissing variety,
Yeah, you say a
More
sentence
or
like
less.
that, you're off to kiss some dudes. And that's okay.
John C. says, if you had that job, you'd be pissed.
I get it. Of the urine variety.
Blackcraft27 says, I couldn't make up my mind which t-shirt I wanted, so I ordered 2. I got Monster Makers University shirt and Zombie Snail shirt.
You know what? If I only sold one shirt on there, it would be the Monster Makers University. I was so happy when I did that design. I kind of feel like that's what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Thank you, Scott Colhart, for linking Lisa Arendt
Getting
in
to be
for our
growing.
private docs.
Yeah, today was a very busy day for me. Well, this is like the first Monday that I could conduct business in a while, you know. So I had a ton of phone calls to make right off the bat and business to do. Very busy day.
Bill Bachelor says, hello, I've missed you all. Is this the hair club for werewolves?
This is the hair club for werewolves. Not only am I a president,
I'm also a member. I thought you were looking at me for a second.
Extreme close-up.
well, just in case they want to see the process.
For sure.
Now, I don't know that I can control this the whole way, so I'm going to take that in half. I know I can control this much. Don't do more than you can control.
Just a good life lesson.
And it sounds like that I am talking to the people on the camera, but I'm just saying this so Rue can hear me.
Blackcraft27 says, Monster Makers has always been my favorite shirt. Both, it was hard to choose. Can't wait for them to get here. Excited everybody loves that zombie snail shirt.
People like zombie snail. I don't understand. How'd that go, Rue? That is exactly how it goes.
Pretty good zombie snail.
Yeah, just trim that up. And you know what? A lot of people actually use a popsicle stick.
Yeah, I use a
Instead of their
popsicle stick
finger.
every now and again when I'm doing edging, but this works.
I'm trying to just be a little more precise.
Kalisha F says, love zombie snail. John C says, can you put your hat on the werewolf while it has the beard?
Bubba the redneck werewolf.
They can't see either of those. You have to back it up.
Hey, Bubba. Hey. How's it going? There you go.
I think it's funny that they're kind of wearing their hats the way we wear our hats.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and I'm not actually wearing my hat a weird way. That's just the way my head is shaped.
Ken Zarish says, zombie snail slippers.
Maybe I can do that.
Slippers?
Oh, I can design that. It could be a thing. I'll make you exactly one pair of them. Because I imagine they would be a huge pain in the butt. Lisa Arant says, love it. Bill Batchelor is laughing. Rob O'Brien is laughing. Jennifer Pugh says they look like they're on their way to a 7-Eleven. Blackcraft27 says, I need some zombie snail underwear now. No, you don't. No, you don't.
So many comments, so little time.
Kalisha F says, reminds me of the Chuck E. Cheese band.
We go to different parties. Yes, Chuck E. Cheese band. There you go.
Woo.
Yes.
1980 says furbillies. Bill Lasher says, looks like Wayne and Garth headed to a concert. John C says, ha! There you go.
So I just refer over a little bit. I got spoiled when it was just me here, and I could, I'd be sitting over here, but I had the screen tilted all the way over.
I can move. I literally am not using this for anything, so.
Oh yeah, so 90 degree that sucker.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Alright. Okay. Okay. Alright.
Good, that was about 3 less of those.
Ezekiel says,
Well,
hi
that
y'all.
wouldn't
Sorry
be
I'm
funny.
late. Hi
Hello.
Ezekiel.
Hi, Zeke.
Hey, update your address on Patreon, yo. You're one of our holdouts. Or not your address, your
Shirt size.
shirt size and stuff.
Ezekiel want big.
Tina Kusiak says zombie snail leggings. I mean, in theory, we can put the zombie snail and everything that Teespring has to offer, but, like, we got so caught up in the could we that we
Right.
forgot to consider should we? Let us learn from Jurassic Park.
Because they didn't.
Hubris!
How many movies are there on that?
Jurassic Park 27.
Ezekiel says, you want me to what?
Velociraptor gets a license.
You're on the Patreon, yes, Ezekiel? I believe we have sent you a message inquiring as to what size t-shirt you would like. Kalisha F says, yes, leggings to go with the shirt.
And this one you guys might be able to see a little bit better because my hand should not be blocking as much. I put on a liberal amount of Coke.
Tom Everett says, zombie snail speedo. No. No.
If the water's cold enough,
Oh, no.
Let's just call the zombie snail.
I don't even have to finish that sentence. That's what's great.
But does it still make the noise?
The The water's cold enough, for sure.
Tina Kusiak
Something
says,
makes the noise.
with Zombie Snail you should everything. Phil Bachelor says funny stuff. That's why they're here. It's for the comedy.
There's been a few nights where we were kind of on a tear.
This is a comedy monster making channel.
Was boy, it's so hard to explain. Was the beaver episode the same one as where I tricked you guys and made you think that I broke the hammerhead mold?
Oh man, I don't know. It's been a while.
I know Amber was here. We need to invite her back out. It's been a while.
Yeah. 1980 says one of those werewolves needs a twisted tea.
I'll tell you what. I love that video. There's an edit where it goes into music.
Is it the Dave Matthews Band one? Because that's my favorite.
No, it's a heavier song.
Is it the Nine Inch Nails? Closer.
Maybe. But holy moly, I love watching people get hit in the face with stuff to begin with. And for some reason, drunk people especially. And I feel fine because he was asking to get hit.
Literally.
And that makes it okay.
Laura Kirchwell says no. Just no. Lincoln Thor says zombie snail socks for Stan. That might be cool.
What you got going on there, Rue?
Nothing. Just my standing response today.
Nothing. Tom Everard says that's a new way to describe cold water. Scott Coiner says hello guys from the Alabama crew. Mask is looking great.
Hey, thanks.
Ezekiel says that's done, Stacy. Thank you. Merci beaucoup.
Whoa. Cutting werewolf hair.
For everyone who is late joining us, Lisa Arendt is our guest moderator tonight. She is one of our Creature Collector Patreon supporters, and one of their rewards is getting to guest moderate on the stream.
That's right. And she's under specific instructions. You can't pay your clown tax.
Boot!
You're in the timeout for 5 minutes.
Blackcraft27 says, I like the orange eyes on these. Ron Shep says, how much of the face will get haired?
The answer is enough. And I'm not entirely sure. I think the hair is going to come into here and just stop right there. I think that's where it's going to stop. And you can see the hair was kind of sculpted right here, so we're going to stop at this line around here, pretty much where they stop sculpting. I will do a run of hair here on this jawbone.
Ron Shep's just asked that, yeah, how much the face will get haired. Ezekiel says, Rue's working on a werewolf dude.
Yes, we're working on the same thing, and we're working at roughly the same pace.
Nope, Rue's working on it.
Line Cook Thor is laughing at clown taxes. Scuba Steve says, hi guys.
Hey, Scuba Steve.
Lita Richardson says, any LED eyes on those or just the orange?
No, I'm pretty sure these are glow in the dark eyes. Let me check.
Yeah, because that'll work.
It does kind of
They're
look you're
only
making one
point
of the werewolf.
blank
correct?
line.
It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell, and it's awkward for me as the werewolf. So,
Not even the werewolf like that.
yeah. These are glow in the dark and UV reactive.
Nice.
Almost everything glow in the dark is UV reactive, but not everything UV reactive is glow in the dark.
Bill Bachelor says, no smooching.
Don't tell me how to live.
He
Listen,
really likes werewolf.
What Alan does with the werewolf masks alone in the shop is Alan's business.
There are folks who are that into werewolves. I'm not into werewolves in that way, but
Today.
Kalisha F says, the werewolf says you owe dinner.
harm none, do what you will. There you go.
We should go to the harm up now.
Okay, so now this run is pretty straight. So
Oh, that's right. Ron Shep says no clown tax. There's no super chat.
Oh. They gotta pay on PayPal.
Yep. That's it.
Yeah, they gotta find a way.
Riot Demon says, can you see out of the corner of the eye on these?
Yes. Actually, the inside corner and the outside corner are both cut.
Honestly, the vision in these is not as bad as it looks.
Yes. Rue was very skeptical when I told him what to cut and how much, and then he tried it on.
Dunnett Mills says, Michael J. Fox is the only werewolf I want to smooch.
Okay,
Fair.
that's fine.
I'll take James Spader in Wolf.
So many jokes I just had.
Zip it, zip it, zip it.
Chad Smith says, man, I'm not sure you have the creativity for aliens. I think he probably means I'm not sure I have the creativity for aliens. I think I'm about to remove the fourth mouth I put on this thing. Getting frustrated.
So you know what? Just add another one. Don't remove it. Just keep adding mouths.
Yeah. It's an alien.
Ezekiel says, we'll find a way to make clown tax get paid.
That's right. Take it out of your hide.
L. Copeland says, hey all, happy holidays everyone. I've been worrying a lot this season, but the resolution looks great on my screen tonight.
Correct. Awesome.
And Stacey, I'll send my choices in Patreon tonight. Okay, off to work. Night all. Thank you.
Bye.
Have fun storming the castle.
Oh, she's been working a lot this season, not worrying a lot. Well, that is better.
My name is Alan Hobbs, and I'm blocking 3/4 of your view.
Really, your werewolf is actually pretty centered there.
Yeah, I'm just jumping in front of it. That's the problem.
Not bad.
While this is a little tough to do,
Boy, it looks good.
It looks amazing.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, it takes a little longer.
However, does not take anywhere near as long as punching.
Yeah.
Chad Smith says, yes, that was supposed to be an eye. I figured.
And I'm doing it this way because I know I don't have to do 100 of these. You know?
Mm-hmm.
If, normally I have $25 for hair if, like the other kinds of hair.
This
If
method?
it's going to be caracal wool, it's $50 more because of how much time it takes.
Yeah. Dirty Santa says, could you go without details on the mask if you're covering it with fur, or does it make for a better glue adhesion?
Well, I can show you the one that Mikey Severe sculpted, and it has sculpted hair on it already, but it just adds more dimension because it has that detail on it. Grab that.
Do you have an unfurred one?
No.
No.
Ezekiel says, and honestly, I don't need a t-shirt sent out. Postage is a nightmare right now, and I'm happy just to support.
Well, I'll give you one of the show. See, he has like sculpted hair here, and that's what gives this extra dimensionality. And he has this little swoop sculpted in the back, and his hair the way it was sculpted. So, yeah.
Scott Colhart says, we still have PayPal. Lisa Arendt, thank you for sharing our Patreon link.
Whoa, look at her.
Lisa is one of our creature collector patrons, and one of her rewards for supporting us at that level is getting to guest moderate on the channel.
Yeah, one of your rewards is having to work. That's kind of my way of doing all kinds of stuff. My wife
lying.
my wife calls me Tom Sawyer because of how often I get people to help me do stuff.
Chad Smith says, Alan, I think I'm going to post some pics and tag you. I'd appreciate your guidance and opinion on it. I tried a fly version mouth tonight, but it reminds me of Cubert. And I don't think the squid beak is going to be right either.
Yeah, beaks are hard. Beaks are tough because beaks don't look scary unless it's about to bite you. And I'm probably not the best guy on alien stuff because I don't do a lot of aliens, but I think I run into some of the same roadblocks that you do.
No. Geiger cheated by adding a second mouth.
The mouth with a piston, put a piston mouth on it. Giger, masterful design. crazier than a bag of cats.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
But,
Have you watched Black Star, the documentary on him?
No.
Oh, it's so cool. He they give a kind of a bit of a tour of his house. This was before he died,
Scares me. Yeah. Okay.
and he built a like ghost train ride thing in his backyard, like a personal spook train thing, where he did all the sculptures and everything. It's super creepy, and I'm absolutely in love with it.
Yeah.
But they also said, you know, for a lot of his big pieces that he did, I mean, he'd do like wall-sized art murals and stuff, that he would just start in a corner and it would just unspool,
Yeah.
which is, to my mind, just mind-blowing because of how intricate and developed and well-organized his designs are. Just mind-blowing.
It's a lot of repetition though too.
There is a lot of repetition.
There's a lot of pattern
yes.
repetition and so many babies and bits.
Yeah, lots of bits.
Lots of bits.
So many bits.
Bits is a good way to put that.
He was
Bits.
obsessed with bits.
And now Rue is going to give you guys insight on using caracal wool for the first time and what he's learned here in the first 30 minutes.
John C. says, Stacy, what name again? I believe that it was called Black Star, and it's a documentary about H.R. Giger. I'm gonna look that up. Though, just to
I'm real bad at this, so not real bad at the hair or anything, but real bad at describing what I've learned right now because I'm just not too great at it. Other than thin, you don't want to put it on too thick because if you put it on too thick and too like really spread it out, hard to tell, I'm sure, but really spread it out so all of it makes contact. Because if you have chunks left over when putting it on, you will know. And they will all kind of fall off. And then it makes for a giant mess.
Yeah, it's called Dark Star, H.R. Giger's World. And it was made in 2014 before he died.
He died.
Happen Mojo says, beaks are scary if they're big enough. Say again?
He died after 2014?
I believe so. He's in it, so. Happen Mojo says, beaks are scary if they're big enough. Ask Johnny Cash, almost got eviscerated by his pet ostrich. Riot Demon says, Giger was amazing. I think he said a lot of stuff came out of his nightmares. Yeah. Ron Shep says, Dark Star, yeah. Amy Reed says, why is it taking Rue so long? Alan is so much further along.
Nobody asked for your opinion.
1980 says, you can count the hairs. The cams are great. Michael Lassiter says, hey everybody. Hi Michael.
This is a new technique for me, Amy.
Oh heck yeah. I forgot there's pie.
Oh wait, there's pie.
But wait. There's pie. Save your fork. There's pie.
See, now I'd be tempted to put that on regularly because it's nice and spread out and a nice cut line of it. But that is way too much.
Too thick.
Too thick. It will not go on there right.
Riot Demon says, Giger died in 2014, 74.
He did die in 2014. Felt like it was before then. Felt like I was still in high school, but I guess not.
You only acted like you were still in high school.
I still act like I'm still in high school.
We know.
One of my enduring qualities. But if you just touch the hair, and don't touch silicone like I'm doing right now,
Then it's fine.
it's totally fine.
Ron Chef says, did you bring enough for all the creepers? We gotta put that on Stan. He brought the pie.
Almost.
We'd have to cut it real thin.
Riot Demon says, adulting is hard. That's true.
Way too hard. I quit.
Lisa Arendt says, what type of pie? It's a buttermilk pie or chess pie. It's the delicious kind of pie.
Ridiculous.
Yum. name of that piece of music is?
No.
Thus spoke Zarathustra.
Okay.
Well,
Weird
Excuse
trivia.
You know what music I do know?
What?
A zoot suit riot. Throw back a bottle of beer. It's a zoot suit riot. Run a comb through your coal black hair.
don't do that.
Amy Reed says, what's the other side look like on Ruse?
It's getting there. See what I just did there? Terrible move. It looks like that. It's getting there.
Jennifer Hughes would show the pie. Thanks. Christopher Wilson said, I've not been to it, but there's an amazing Giger bar in Switzerland. Oh, wistful sigh. I would love to go to that.
Yep. Ditto. I went to.
Hey, Rue, watch your stool leg for me, would you?
1980 says, how long did it take them to hair Rue's face?
It took about, well, when did I shave my beard off?
They say it's unprofessional for you to show people moving your camera around. Yet here I am.
Yeah, I
Beth
shaved
Williams
it off
says-
for Halloween, so.
You know, if Shannon made it, it's awesome pie. This is not actually a Shannon pie.
Nope.
And 1980 says, do you order drinks at the Giger counter?
But it's a good.
Oh gosh.
Cat
Wah, wah, wah.
Swift says, hello to all, just home from work.
Hello, Cat Swift.
How was work? If it was terrible, keep it to yourself.
If it was terrible, tell us. It's sympathetic.
Just. Yeah, if it was terrible, just lie politely. I just want to be lied to. Is that too much, Shannon? I actually learned something very important. I actually very rarely say, hi, how are you? How you been? I say, hey, good to see you. Because then they don't, and I learned this at trade shows, because I just don't have time to find out how they've been, whether I care or not. You know, I have to get somewhere. I got stuff going on.
Well, trust me, I know.
So I say, it's good to see you. Been too long, which
Yes.
is always true.
Guess who ends up running blocker for Alan a lot of the time at trade shows?
On occasion. So either Rue likes to talk to you, or he doesn't want you to talk to me. One of those things is happening.
Or I'm escorting Shannon somewhere.
Yes. Yeah.
Who's
Just as bad.
Yeah.
plenty a big girl and can totally take care of herself. But Rue gets sent as
Yeah.
Shannon's bodyguard.
Take care
A
of the
lot of places too.
Well, it is St. Louis. Let's be real.
It is St. Louis.
Says, actually, work was on. I built new frames for the plexi shield wall. None of the employees at a craft shop know how to make stuff.
That's awesome. Okay.
Okay.
It's okay, it's okay. It's
All right.
It's okay.
Okay. Alright.
Now see, this side has a natural curl to it. It's swooping that way. So I used it over here, and I'm going to use it over here. I don't want to carry this up here, because one way or the other would be a weird curl. So I'm just looking at what the hair is doing, and then that tells me where to put it.
Michael and Lindsay Kyle says, got our sculpt tools and creature blank in the mail earlier this week. Thanks for all the extras.
No problem.
Happen and Mojo said, you should just do the nod what's up greeting. It's fast and has an area effect.
But it's not enough. You know what I mean? It's not enough. When I see people at a trade show, I truly do want to sit and talk to everybody. I don't get to see the show floor. I don't want to sound like I'm complaining, but I'll get an aisle or two in. I'll say, okay, I'm gonna take a break from the booth real quick. I'm gonna go try and see an aisle or two, and then I'll get called back to the booth. One aisle in or half an aisle in.
So it's still kind of Christmas season.
Yeah,
I can tell this story.
Go ahead.
So,
Al, your elbow just covering like the whole everything.
This is
Obviously-
a natural position to hair in right here.
Not last year's Transworld, because last year's Transworld did not happen. But the last Transworld we were at, which was 2 years ago, we got done setting up the booth a tiny bit early. And
And I'm like, don't tell anyone.
yeah.
Let's walk around.
So we decided, Alan's like, cool, let's go look at the show floor for a second. I might get a chance to actually go look at things. So we were walking around, and it was the first year for Christmas at Transworld, for them having the Christmas stuff at Transworld. So we're walking along, and we walk into the Christmas section, and I looked over at Alan, and I said, hey Alan, what's it like to take 2 steps into a room and have everybody lose all ability to recognize you?
Alexa, stop.
That was the banana papaya.
Yeah. It's a long name for a timer.
Kalisha F
The
says
one that I have to add 15 minutes to anyway.
he could be alfalfa with the swoop hair.
He could, if I mess this up, yes.
Jeff Bull says I guess they need to watch more Stilt View Studios videos so they can learn how to make stuff.
Alexa, count down 15 minutes. And you know what? That might happen. I did so much Christmas stuff this year.
Right? Misty Jazierski says howdy all.
Hey, Misty Jazierski.
Missy?
I was
That's what-
recognized in Home Depot today.
Yeah.
Somebody, a Home Depot employee came up to me and said, I love your YouTube channel. And then kept walking. And then creepily talked about me to someone else at a counter.
Not creepily, awesomely.
Awesomely talked in a creepy fashion.
Cat Swift says that she shows your stuff in the break room. Lots of oohs and ahs requests for her to make it for them. Riot Demon says Alan says you need to do what Adam Savage does at conventions and wear outfits where you aren't recognized.
Well, see, my job is to sell outfits, so that makes it harder.
And
Also, they don't allow costumes.
they don't
on
allow
sales
costumes at Transworld.
Right, yeah. Can't walk
Because it's not
around
a
in
convention, really. It's a trade show. Happen Emoji says, for hardware stores, I understand if a lot of staff don't have repair or building knowledge. If one has that knowledge, you can make more money actually fixing/building stuff than working at Home Depot. Baba Daza says, what the heck? You started without me?
Sorry about that. Stacy said you were on. Actually, our new moderator
Yeah, that's...
said that it was good. We were good to go. I picture that like construction workers work at Home Depot after they get like severely injured on the job. Like I used to be an iron worker, but I took an arrow to the knee, and now I work in the rebar aisle. You know.
One of these things just doesn't make sense.
If that makes perfect sense. Yeah, like Home Depot shouldn't like have real staff. They should just get construction employees who are injured. Maybe that's not a good idea. At all.
Jennifer Pugh says, an arrow to the knee?
See, now you see my face.
So, an arrow to the knee is I believe it's a Skyrim reference, where the town guards would often say to you, I used to be an adventurer like you, till I took an arrow to the knee. And that's just something that I have embraced.
Kalisha F says, shaking my head at Alan blaming Stacy with the good hair.
As opposed to Stacy with the bad hair.
Yeah. Riot Demon says, I work with many a retired person at the hardware store. Cat Swift says, so true. I actually have folks that know my work schedules and come in with their problems. Also, a couple dozen email me questions.
There you go.
Baba Daz says, I like your hair, Stacy. Thank you. John C. says, speaking of dressing in full costume, anything happening with the Beast Mode deal?
With Beastman? Not yet. I want to work on Beastman.
Do we know if PowerCon is going on?
So
year?
far, it's not until September.
Yeah.
I can't imagine them canceling it in September.
What a terrible time for another convention.
Well, you're just not willing to shirk all your responsibilities. To go to a convention. That's
Oh
what
yes,
that is.
yes I am.
I was going to say. like.
Because I'll be there. Really.
Turns out my boss is kind of a fan of it too.
You make a plan, you stick to the plan, you get all your work done, and then you can go.
Blackcraft27 says, wasn't Skyrim a video game? Sounds familiar.
It was a video game. I believe it's actually still
still
around.
is.
It's still a video game.
It was a video game, but I got better. Now I'm a book.
Which Skyrim is too.
Did they novelize a video game?
Yeah. A few times. Halo has novels.
I mean, that I knew, but
But they don't count.
they don't count.
Skyrim. I know Skyrim does too. Yeah.
I don't know why that's even the question I had to ask, because I have a friend who writes the novelizations for like TV shows.
See,
so.
I actually, I go on YouTube and I watch videos on the lore of the games and on the lore of it. I enjoy those quite a bit. Phil Shalhoub, who used to work with us at Dark Hour, got me started on that. And Phil also still works at my Monster Museum.
I'm very excited for the Monster Museum.
Yeah?
Yeah. Michael and Lindsay Kyle says, still play Skyrim once a month at least. It will never go away.
Yeah. It's one of those things, if you can control it and not let it dominate your time and life, then it's good.
1980 says, Arrow to the Knee story needs a beginning like, the last time I wore a Bigfoot costume in the woods.
So there was one time I was in a Bigfoot costume and I was off of the Beeline, which is a pay toll. There's not a lot of toll roads in Florida, but it's a toll road that kind of gets you to Orlando a little faster if you're coming from the Panhandle.
I was gonna say there is in Orlando.
And I was on the side of the road, just inside the tree line, and for about 20 minutes, I was supposed to walk out, look like I was going to cross the street, and then turn around and walk back. And I did that like 8 times. I was pretty worried that I was going to get shot or hit by a car.
Jennifer Pugh says, Rue seemed skeptical about being able to control it. Cat Swift says, saw that also.
Also, Rue, pay attention to what's happening here,
Yeah.
because if it's got a hanger on it or a wad of hair, then you're going to deposit that.
Yeah.
Baba Dowsa says, oh my god, would pay to see that.
Well, someone did, which is why I did it. Because I too can be purchased.
Realm says, looks good.
Thanks, man.
On the video game thing, Rue kind of has a slight problem with playing a certain video game. A whole ridiculous lot.
Aren't they releasing like a second one of that?
Yeah. With Vin Diesel doing the voicing.
Gotcha. I'm glad.
And he's actually a producer for it.
I'm
Like
glad he's still alive.
doing the stuff.
Scott Colehart says, PowerCon is still on September
As
11th and
opposed
12th,
to-
2021. Thank you for
See?
the link, Scott.
It's early in September.
Yeah, that should be before we
I
open,
don't
right?
think we're open. How's this angle for you guys? Is this a good enough view? I figure you can kind of see all of us. I've already given you close-ups before.
Ezekiel says, I don't know where you get time to play games. Too much stuff to do.
I actually play a game almost every night to not work, to not think about work. Because if I don't, then what I end up doing is I research, and I research all night, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I think my brain is fresher when I can make it do a different task for a while.
Riot Demon asks, which games, Rue? Or which game?
I play Ark. And I play Fallout 76 now too because my best buddy's a jerk.
Jennifer Pugh says, you boys better get all your work done so you can go to the convention.
Yeah.
Lisa Arendt says, all I've learned from Masters of the Universe, I've learned from Alan Hops.
Hooray!
I thought I knew a lot about Masters of the Universe. Like, a lot. I was a big Masters of the Universe fan. Alan blows me out of the water.
I like the monsters. And it's just good storytelling.
Out of the water.
Blackcraft27 says, I've been hooked on Call of Duty Mobile. Babadaza asked, did you get the new internets?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. So far, it's going swimmingly.
Ezekiel says, my PlayStation is a guitar. Can always go down a rabbit hole with an instrument.
That's awesome.
I also play Rocksmith on my Xbox. I play my guitar on Xbox.
Yeah, Justice got another Rocksmith adapter for that, and he's like, you want to hook your bass up to it? And I was like, yes, I do.
Yes, I do. It's so much fun.
Nice. Michael and Lindsay Kyle says, which game is Alan on?
I play a game called Conan Exiles. And I'm actually, speaking of Masters of the Universe, I mod Conan Exiles in order to become, I'm turning it into Eternia. Eventually I might do my own server and make it the Eternia server, but we'll see how that goes. Who has time for that?
Realm says, I told myself last year when I was taking down the trail, I'll make all homemade tombstones, and I've started. I forgot the hassle of making them, but they always look so good.
They do. You're correct.
I'm thinking of names for them, and I'm all out of ideas for names.
Short names, man. Short names. Like Joe Ben. That's a great name. Because carving names in tombstones is terrible. Yeah.
Historic bad guys, not a terrible place to go.
You want to put in a name like William Wadsworth Worthington V, and then you're on your fourth W, and you're like, this is terrible.
Why did I do such a thing?
Yeah.
Almatra Art says, hello everyone.
Hello.
Almatra Art.
Bum, bum, bum.
1980 says, Among Us can be very addicting for a very simple game. Yes, we played that this Christmas
I've never played.
with the kids. It is.
I've just watched a lot of videos on how to play it and what the play dynamic and stuff is, because I'm just exploring that concept for other things.
It is. It's really fun. I enjoyed it.
My son really enjoys it.
Yeah. Kalisha F says, shortened to Will Was. W-A-Z. And it's a pun! Riot Demon says, I love them when their names are all puns. Yes.
Yeah.
Rylan Chow asked, does plaster stick to plastic and hot glue?
No. But you might get a mechanical bond on both of them, much more likely on the hot glue.
After this.
Jennifer Pugh says, I'm going to turn in for the night. Good night, all.
Good night, Jennifer Pew. Pew pew.
What are you going to turn into?
Oh.
Kalisha F says, exactly. Almatra Art says, now I officially have a jingle. Thanks,
Right.
everyone.
You do. I got my shiny new internets. So far, it's working well. We haven't had any stutters tonight, I don't think.
And one little bobble.
It was just a bobble.
I blame the Russians.
Me too.
Now see, right here.
You know what? I realized this is almost the exact same color as my beard.
That's why I use it.
Yeah.
So see here where I've got a lot of showing. I just take a pinch.
Fill it in.
Baba Daza says, there was one I especially liked. Can I send a link in this chat or no? I don't believe you can, Baba Daza, but you can message it to Scott Colehart or to Lisa Arendt, and they should be able to post that for you. Or I guess, is Michael Astor still on? Also email Michael Astor. Rylan Chow says, can I thin down Vaseline with alcohol? I heard that on the web.
Can you do what with alcohol?
Thin down Vaseline?
With isopropyl alcohol, no. But you can do it with xylene. You can do it with naphtha, and odorless mineral spirits. Those will all thin Vaseline. I don't think 99% alcohol will, but I could be wrong, so I'm going to try it real quick.
Tina Kusiak says,
Gave him an
ooh,
excuse
we
to do
could
one
play
of his
Among
favorite
Us for
things.
Patreon.
What's that now?
Tina Kusiak says, ooh, we could play Among Us for Patreon.
I would have to actually install it on something.
You can put it on your phone. It's ridiculously easy.
Okay, so now we have 99% alcohol in a little tub of Vaseline. Let's see if it does any kind of breaking down. I don't think that it will. I just don't think it's strong enough.
1980 says, I don't get a jingle, just an eye roll and the occasional don't encourage him.
Yes, yes. 1980, don't encourage him.
Scott
That's
Colhart
his tagline.
says, what did you get for the new internet connection?
So basically we got a taller tower and they upped my upload speed. Most standard upload speed is 2 BPS and, wait, Mbps. Not KBPS, Mbps. And I have 4 Mbps.
They were real curious on their own.
They were very curious. It was adorable. Michael Schulte says, good night, guys. Looking good. Good night, Michelle.
Good night.
Oh wait, I gotta go dump them first.
Yep. Thank you, Scott Colhart and Michael Astor. If you have links you would like to post, you can email these two fine gentlemen. Jazz hands.
Okay. And if you guys don't like where you are, just let me know.
Blackcraft 27 says, looks good here, sir. Kalisha F says, okay, Rue's hat's out of the way. I can see Stacy's hair.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. People in Oklahoma can see Stacey's.
I'm using it as a signal flare.
She's known for her subtlety.
They always say. Subtle like a jackhammer. She said, and then you stepped in front of it, I guess. Rob O'Brien says, how did your cleanup day go?
It went great, actually. It went really good. More to do, always. But the other room is ready should a giant laser show up. Which one won't right away, but eventually one will.
Soon. Queer Pass says, think Alexa did sleep too.
Okay. ...
Rylan Chow says, when molding a mask, do I have to take the clay out the same day I put the plaster on?
No. No, you can do it the next day. But if it's water-based clay, it might harden up on you. So you have to be careful with that.
Ezekiel says, oh, Stacy's got a new head of color. Yes, I do. This was my Christmas present to myself. And Gray helped me do it. Ah, yeah. And that's how we end up with Kansas spray paint. on the
Gentle
tables.
with the door closing, Rue. Gentle.
I tried.
Oh, yeah.
Stink at it.
What you need.
Fires. Where does...
Baba Daza says, thanks guys,
Have
send
you
it to
s-
Scott, but good to know your
Oh.
emails aren't complicated.
There it is. Right.
All right, we're getting there. I'm coming down to the wire. I've got to finish out this area here. I've got a little bit over here to do.
I'm taking a moment for pie,
I'm gonna pull in one more,
even though I'm slow.
another layer or two over here,
That took you much less time, it's only 8:30.
and then I'll do the chin. Oh yeah, it's a smaller head.
John C. says, how about a future sculpt of the god Ymir from Conan Exiles, blue with the white beard and antlers?
I could actually use my frost giant that I've already got and just add antlers to him, so it's not far off.
Riot Demon says, I think they were saying ALXA's timer didn't go off. It's been 15, has it been 15 minutes?
He has already gone in there and done the dumping.
Oh, okay. Queer Pass says, yeah, that's what I mean. Kalisha F says, cool earwear, Rue.
Thank you.
These are my regulars because when the tunnels fall out of my earlobes, they get caught by the rings, so I don't lose them.
Ryland Chow says, can I make a negative mold of a mannequin and fill it with flex foam to make a stiff but still flexible body?
Yes. However,
Tom, that's funny.
the technical answer is yes, you can do that. I would try and change that body up a little bit just so you're not stealing their mannequin. You know what I mean? Because they made that. And while you think of it as a commercial sculpture, it's still a sculpture. And that's their design. So maybe change it up a little bit before you mold it. And you might fill it with flex foam, but it won't have a lot of flex unless it has some kind of an internal skeleton to really help it move. So I would highly recommend an internal skeleton of some kind.
Tom Everard says, Rue does play Ark. You can tell by how fast he closed the door behind himself.
It's a thing in Ark, people will sneak into your buildings and steal your stuff if you don't close the door behind yourself.
They do that in Conan Exiles.
Mm-hmm. They're very similar games, really.
Ken Zarish says, good night all. You've
Good night,
been
Ken.
dozing off. Masks look good.
Thanks. I tend to, I play on just single player, so I'm the only one in the world.
Only one
Boy,
night.
I wish I would have done that when I started Ark.
As if I were an only child.
Like, I really wish I would have done that when I started playing Ark. And just like knew to set all my timers and that stuff. Like, oh, it would have been nice. Ark is horrible that if you don't play for 3 days, 4 days, you could lose all of your stuff.
Awesome. That sounds like a lot of fun.
No, terrible.
Realm says, how can I take a mannequin after I fix it? How can I make a mold of it to not kill me to use?
Well, it depends on what you want to pour it up in. But if you just want a foam mannequin, you can make a latex mold.
Baba Daza says, what is single player? Do you guys play on computers or a console?
I play on computer.
I play on Xbox.
Single player means it's just me. There is the whole world, and I am the only one in it. I will not run into someone else.
I do not play on single player. I play on official settings with all the rules,
I am modding the snot out of my server.
and it stinks.
So no.
I wish I could. They have really cool mods for Ark too. You play on a computer. You can get all sorts of crazy monsters and dinosaurs.
Well, they have cool mods for Conan, but it also has brought me into the knowledge that there are some weirdos out there. Because the mods that they build are adult and odd.
Adult. Minor understatement.
Yeah.
Turning this heater on.
Okay.
Because I'm getting chilly. Realm says, how would I do that? Because I want to make some foam bodies.
I would do some YouTubing, sir.
Don't you
And
have a foam body tutorial?
I do. I have how to make a mannequin tutorial, which you can make your changes and then make a tape mold is what I do, and then I foam that because the tape mold is actually cheap. Doesn't take that long. It takes about an hour, and then you can make a tape mold.
Finn
And then you end
Godwolf
up with
says
your own
hello.
fill.
Finn Godwell says what?
Finn Godwolf says hello.
Hey, Finn.
Lita Richardson says, good night. Hubby wants to watch Cobra Kai.
Hooray! Have fun, hubby.
Good night.
I haven't watched any of that, but I hear it's really good.
Apparently the third season is amazing.
Tony likes it. Tom Everard says, Ark is a great game for learning disappointment.
That's an understatement.
I've had 20 things.
Learning disappointment and loss and frustration and a little tiny bit of proud of your achievements.
Ezekiel says, that caracal wool looks so cool. Can't wait to get some.
It does, man. It really does. And you might have access to some wolves that we don't, being in Australia. Americans are kind of afraid of sheep. I'm not entirely sure why, but we don't do near enough sheep farming. We're all about the beefs.
Lamb.
Mash Slasher says, is there any benefits in painting using the Prozade method? Seems like a very expensive way to do it.
Well, it's sticky, and then you have to tack it down, or you use lower tack Prozade. I don't see the benefits, so I don't do it. But there are people who do.
Kalisha F says, love the first season. Cobra Kai. Ezekiel says, I'm doing my wool research for sure to see what we have.
Look for places that do felting, because they're going to have wool roving, and this is a type of wool roving. So any place that does felting, which is a kind of a popular modern craft, and it's kind of waned a little bit, but it's still out there.
Michael and Lindsay Kyle said, disappointment is making a Fiji mermaid and your friend declining it for a birthday present because it was too creepy, or maybe we just did too good of a job.
Yeah.
Baba Dawson says, gonna
I don't want
pretend
to
like I
talk
didn't hear
about
that.
the Fiji
Lou.
mermaid that I most recently made.
Rodney Pope says, season 3 of Cobra Kai was awesome. Rylan Chow says, do you like creepy collection props?
Creepy Collection's good. They're good people. Jerry Delisandro is an awesome guy.
Jerry Alejandro. Sorry, that just sounds like a fun name to say.
Well, it is. You're right.
Lisa Arentz is excited about the Jersey Devil. What are your plans for the goat mask?
To make it into a Jersey Devil. I have some art that I'm looking at, and what's interesting on this is that there's not a lot of hair on it, so it's not going to be like a heavily haired mask, and I have to do some head positioning, and so I've got to make some skin and do some blending on that. I think that'll be really fun.
Amy Reed says, could you use other furs like alpaca or something that is also used for felting and such?
You can. The problem is, what's cool about this is that it's so coarse. And you can actually see all the threads in it and the different colors. When you get to something that's real fuzzy and soft like an alpaca, it just, it almost looks blurry because it's so, the hairs are so fine.
Rylan Chow says, where do you normally look for reference photos or insurance?
What?
Where do you normally look, comma, for reference photos, comma, or insurance?
On the internet. I mean, I say all the time that my favorite sculpting tool is Google image search. But Pinterest is actually pretty darn good. And then Pinterest is good. You can build boards around whatever you're doing. And then search all the terms kind of even remotely associated with whatever you're working on.
Baba Dowsa says, alpacas are stupid cute though.
And they are cute, yes. Not helpful when you're making a monster.
Realm says, hate to keep bothering you, but how can I make a body bag heavy like a real body? Because the best video I see on how to do it is to use 2x4s and that adds up quickly. Do you have any ideas?
And wait, yeah, old carpet. Old carpet is actually very heavy, and you can get old carpet for free. It also will add a bit of smell-o-vision into your haunted house.
Oh no.
Because 3 or 4 different old carpets from different houses
Gross.
really has a flavor. But it's not terrible. It's just you smell like you're in the den of some other animal.
Rylan Chow says, sorry, I meant inspiration,
Oh,
not insurance.
so
Really was confused by
Let me be
the
clear.
I also was.
let me be clear. Okay. So let me tilt this down a little bit. It is rare that I use images for inspiration. I use images for definition. I already have an idea. I have an idea. I need to refine and define that idea. So, yeah, that's what I use the pictures for. It's almost like when you have one side of an argument, you're looking for things to support that side of the argument. I am looking for things to support my visual idea that I'm doing. That's what I'm looking for. So, yeah, I'm not going there for inspiration. I'm going there for definition. I want to refine and define the visuals that I already have in my head. Because I know it's going to have long, spindly arms. But do I know what texture those arms are going to be? Maybe I look up images for that. So I hope that helps narrow down. Now let's check on our, yeah, okay, so I have a lot of alcohol and a lot of, there's been no melting down, breakdown, thinning at all. It's just alcohol and Vaseline.
Rylan Chow says, to make prop hands, would it be possible to foam fill latex gloves?
Yep. Yes, you can.
Didn't you do that on the Weeping Angel video?
Kind of, yes. Yeah, I used Loctite. A great way to make them is if you have a 5-gallon bucket of latex, put a little bit of hand lotion on, dip your hand in latex, hair dryer it, dip your hand again, and do like 5 or 6 layers of latex, cut and take that off, and then tape it back up and foam it, and then you have a copy of your hand, because you made a latex mold of your hand. The way that they actually make gloves, latex gloves, is they have a little ceramic hand shape that they dip in latex.
You watch how it's made of those?
It's
Really
fun.
kind of fun. Little hands dipping and twisting.
Thank you, Scott
How-
Colehart, for sharing the foam filling the mannequin.
Bruce got that.
Jazz hands.
Rylan Chow, I'll wait for you to finish that. Hit the enters too soon.
That happens to me all the time. So I'm on my jawline now, which is one of my last bits. And Rue is rapidly finishing.
Getting there.
Rue is beginning to consider rapidly finishing.
Queer Pass says, good night to everyone, I have to go to sleep. It's 3:45 in Munich. We'll see your results later in the future.
Good night, Munich.
Cheers.
Good night, Mario.
Good night.
I think it's cool that I know the first names of people in other countries because we met on YouTubes. That's cool.
Kalisha F says, looking awesome, Alan.
Hey, thanks. Looking like a werewolf. There, wolf.
He looks like a man.
I'm blanking on the name of that actress, but I love her. Rylan Chow says, can I use baby powder as a non-stick latex agent? Don't want to use the raw plaster because it might be harmful to breathe in or not.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Oh. You mean when you are taking your mass out of the mold, you don't want it to stick together? Yes, you could use baby powder or powdered plaster. You're not using a lot of it, and you're also knocking it out of there before you wear it. We, 9/10 of the time, use baby powder. Only if I'm in this room when I'm pulling will I just reach over and grab plaster. Now, Ed Edmonds uses plaster all the time. Because he already has plaster, and he'd have to buy baby powder. Very practical, that man.
Kalisha F says, nope, that was the other lab a couple nights ago when he wore the sweater. Looking like a man.
If you want to wear my sweater,
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
walk away.
Watch me unravel. I'll soon be naked, lying on the floor.
Stacy knows way more of that song than I do. Which you could probably say about almost every song.
That's true.
Except for 80s hair metal.
That's Also true.
All right, so I got my bottom jaw, and I'm going to do a little more up in here too. I'm going to take it up to where I can see the sculpture line, so right in here is where I'll take this hair to, and I have this bit here.
Kalisha F is laughing about the songs. I was there with you.
And sometimes you want to shape your silicone before you put your hair on it. Like I know that's not going to do what I want, so I'm moving my silicone around. Take a second, just clean my fingers really good. I've gotten some good earlies on them.
Gnarly.
I'm happy the picture has held up as long as it has.
Yeah,
And no buffering, that's nice.
no buffering. We're looking nice and crisp and clean. Steady stream. We're figuring it out, man.
Slowly, I'll add a camera here this week probably.
Making some quality YouTubes. I like the chin hair on that.
So thanks.
That's cool.
Yeah, and this was successful because I paid attention to the direction of the hair. You know, if this had all been down, it would not look as sharp.
Yes.
But it's going back, and that's the way it would go. Now I switched that, and I kind of did this one this way, and I'll actually angle those a little more to get a transition.
Yes.
You're just going to say yes to whatever I say, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. Very validating. That's what you pay me the mediocre bucks for.
Hooray.
Kalisha F says, wolf with a goatee chin. Fitting.
Yeah.
Tina
Well-
Kusiak asks, what kind of camera did you get?
Well, I haven't gotten a camera yet. This camera is a Logitech 920 1080p. That's what this is.
And this one, the old one, the Handycam here,
Mm-hmm.
is the, what is this? Sony
Yeah.
DCR SX85?
Yeah. So that little camera will be pushed into service for a while. I also have a GoPro Hero 4, which I'm getting a cam link to use the GoPro as a webcam for bigger shots.
Rylan Chow says, funny story, I live in California, so the fires brought up a lot of ash. Then there were a few strong winds and rain blowing the ash. The ash looked a lot like a woman with a huge head, like an alien, with a stretched out face. I named my imaginary character the Stretcher because of the stretched out face.
Okay. That's fun. Nice to give a real world reference.
Yeah,
It's a shame that things had to burn down for you to get it.
also true.
There we go.
Rylan Chow says, might make a mask out of that. Brooke E says, oh, I use the Logitech 920. I don't know if you have the Logitech gaming software downloaded or not, but it allows you to access advanced settings for the webcam. I suggest turning the low light compensation off. Tends to make things clearer.
Well, I actually put a filter on OBS. So because I'm going through OBS, I don't know if I should go through several programs. You know what I mean? That's a lot of modification,
Ezekiel, oops, sorry.
and that can cause problems.
Ezekiel says, Alan, how big was the bag of Caracal you got, please?
This big, $38 big. 1 pound. This is a 1 pound bag of vaguely barnyard smelling caracal wool.
Almantra Art says the live feed has been great tonight. So happy to see that it's all coming together.
I'm learning. I mean, I can be taught.
It can be taught.
It's not fun for any of us, but I can do it. I am very happy with how this guy is turning out. He is a nice looking werewolf. By nice looking, I mean scary. I'm like, what a nice young werewolf. Not the same.
What a nice young werewolf. So polite. Rookie says, yeah, OBS is the program used for streaming itself. I use that as well. The Logitech software is strictly for the webcam. The filters on OBS are good, but the camera settings itself can give you a bit more options to play with. We'll check it
Yeah.
out.
I feel like I'm pretty straightforward.
Scott Colehart, thank you for posting the link to the Silpies Live Creepers Facebook page.
Hey, that's us. We do stuff on the Facebooks.
Post your projects. Because we want to see them.
I'm really zooming in on the last bit of this werewolf. How'd do, Rue?
Good.
Every now and then, there's stuff in the wool that is not sheep bits, and I don't know what it is, and I don't investigate it. I just try to get it out.
Is that tangled?
I don't always want to know what clumpy things the sheep were into.
Oh my. Good night, Michael Lassiter.
Good night, Michael Lassiter. Yeah, that's a bit of, not sheep.
That ain't cheap.
Blackcraft27 says, Rue, what you doing?
He's paired a werewolf. I'll answer for him.
Yeah.
Sorry I stole your thunder, Rue.
I was
Nah.
adjusting my Velcro belt a moment ago.
Now you give a much more exciting answer.
And I went and used the restroom.
Good times. We all heard you. That's a great microphone. Oh, my little light died. Did
Oh.
it change a lot?
Not really.
Okay. I didn't think I needed on this one. If I'm doing like a sculpt, I will, but
Linekirk Thor says, did Rue give up?
yeah, he's a quitter.
Rylan Chow says, can you paint
Rue did
latex
not
on the
give up.
halves of the plaster mold and use cheesecloth to strengthen it, then put the mold together and slush some more latex around to attach each side together?
Okay. Can you paint latex on the halves of the plaster mold and use cheesecloth to strengthen it? Then put the mold together and slush some more latex around to attach each side together. You could, but you don't have to do that. I mean, that makes it unnecessarily complicated, and odds are good you're going to see the cheesecloth. There is a way that it has been done for about 100 years, and that way actually works pretty well. Many people want to innovate and say this might be easier or whatever. I think everybody has an idea to make a one-piece mold and then have a core that comes out like a jigsaw puzzle. That's a pretty common idea. But you don't see a lot of those for sale because it's just so much extra work than just making a two-piece mold. You're asking these questions because you think making a two-piece mold is hard, and it's not. You've got this. You just have to start doing it. And please don't feel like called out or like I'm singling you out. No, I mean, it's young mask makers who are getting into effects. A lot of them have these thoughts, and they want to find an easier way to do it. And it's just do it. Just do it. It's not as hard as you think.
Rylan Chow says, to save latex, and I don't have enough latex to dwell cast.
Then just slush. You put your mold all the way together. You put in enough latex and then you swirl it around and you dump it out. And then you let that dry for 12 hours or so. And you do another layer. Then you pour in more latex. You slush it around so it touches everything in there. And then you pour it out. Doing it in two halves, you're not really using any less latex. Just do something called slush casting. Don't do dwell casting. I dwell, because it's cheaper to buy 5 gallons of latex than it is to buy 5 1-gallon bottles. It's cheaper. And I want it to be frugal. This guy is haired. Yeah, see, like right now, that light wouldn't be good.
So what do you want me to plug it back in? Is it a USB charge?
Yep.
So I could just run you a,
USB-C.
well, plug it into this and then,
Yeah, that's fine. Oh, I didn't know that. I don't want that bolt up like that on top of that. I want it as laid out as possible most of the time.
this is the one we're not using.
I know. I want it laid out because it's going to catch that kink, and see how this has some kink in it?
Yeah.
We'll just lay them out. That's why when I put it up, I run it 6 feet, make the
Okay.
turn 6 feet.
Sure.
Improperly coiled cables. Blah, blah, blah. Just letting go. I want to try and straighten it out again.
And then, here's your seat type. Yes. Here you go. Blackcraft 27 says looks great. Lisa Arendt says the wool gives it such a great look.
You do.
Finn Godwolf says looks fantastic.
You don't think it does, but it do.
Realm says I'm shocked you haven't want to 50-gallon drums of latex yet.
Oh, I have. I absolutely have.
5 gallons is way better.
Yeah, the problem with the
Trading
55
back
gallon, you know what, it's in a USB.
Oh, well, here.
I was gonna say, that little light is all fancy and has USB-C?
USB-C is good.
I know, but I was like, that's what I was saying. I was like, that thing's fancy enough to have USB-C? That's kind of impressive for a little light like that.
Beth
Then it
Williams says love the hair. Great job, Ellen and Rue.
I'm pretty happy with how it's going.
Realm says sorry I meant went. So I'm shocked you haven't went to 50-gallon drums of latex.
I have. I mean, I actually went to them, then I went back because I did not like the 55-gallon drums as much. You just waste more latex. If you think about how much latex sticks to the side of a 5-gallon bucket, well, 10 times that sticks to the side of a 55-gallon drum.
Like literally.
Yeah, literally 10 times. Actually, 11 times.
Yes.
Sure. I trust you.
I was told there wouldn't be no.
I was told there'd be no man.
You guys get a sweet forehead shot for a second.
Sweet, sweet forehead. And Rue's butt.
Is it still Walker?
It is.
It's good for that.
Now, with light.
And now with light.
Shiny werewolf.
In my beard.
I'm going to let that cure, but I will go ahead and resist the teeth with a stuff.
With the thing with the deal. Realm says amazing.
Thanks, Realms.
Lanny Williams says looks so awesome.
I'm very happy with it. And this is the one that we're sending to you. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy with how that turned out.
Wait a minute. Yeah, it's still.
Stacy, can you adjust the camera up so they can see what Rue is doing?
Yarp.
Oh.
Yep.
Add mode.
Tom Everard says, I would rather pour latex out of a 5-gallon bucket all day than a 55.
Yes, yeah, getting it in and out is a problem. And like right now in the winter months, you have to keep a 55-gallon bucket warm, and it's just harder to change the temperature. There's advantages to go in 5-gallon buckets.
Amy Reed says, I have to say Rue is being so diligent in his learning curve on this process. Good job.
Yeah, he's so good.
Lanny Williams says, thank you.
Thank you, Henry.
Jeff Bull says, my 6-year-old grandson Benjamin loves the werewolves and thinks your work is amazing.
Awesome. Benjamin, thank you very much. Your opinion means a lot to me. I'm not even kidding. I was a 6-year-old who loved werewolves. So this should tell you maybe go to college or something. Because look where I am now.
Making werewolves.
Yeah.
I mean, living the dream.
Go to werewolf college. Great compromise. I'll start one.
Here's the how.
Get out.
So would it just be too busy furring the brow?
I think you'd lose some expression
Okay.
because you have this is the furrowed brow,
Mhm.
and if you furrowed a furrowed brow,
Yeah, that just
you would
becomes
just
a-
have a furry brow.
Jeff Bull says, Benjamin says, now that is funny.
Go to werewolf college. I'm telling you, man.
Start werewolf college.
On my to-do list. The werewolf college. Throw back a bottle of beer. The werewolf college.
College. Realm says, I showed my friend that mask and she said, I'm surprised you haven't bought one for him yet.
Get on it. That's a smart friend you got.
He's got a runny nose.
It's a glisten. He's glistening.
Bless you, werewolf.
Kazuna.
So this is him with Instagram's new moist face filter.
A well-moistened wolf.
Face.
Jeff Bull says, we're both watching you on our 40-inch TV. Benjamin says he would love to go to Werewolf College because werewolves are one of his most favorite monsters.
Mine
Next
too.
to Michael Myers, that is.
Mine too. You know what though? There's room for Michael Myers to become a werewolf.
That's right.
Like, if I ever get my hands on those franchises, we're looking at that. Gets bit. Well, we've already established in Halloween 1 that Michael Myers could drive a car. Like, remember he was driving the station wagon? Yeah.
That was like before
What?
bad things really started
You
happening.
think he forgot how to drive?
Well,
That's a lot of hair at one time, Rue.
you know,
Trying to make up for lost time.
maybe.
Mass
No,
Slasher
no.
says, looks fantastic.
What if I pull it off nicely?
What if you don't?
What if I do?
Realm says, I don't know. I said I don't know if he's on the site because I haven't seen it on it.
This is actually on, what's that company name again?
Oh, Lord.
You should have notes.
I'm sorry, I didn't know. I was
Lanny
supposed
and
to
Beth
do notes.
Williams. This is their werewolf.
Dead.
Dead Space Studios. Dead something Studios?
Dead.
There's a lot of dead companies.
We're really bad at this.
Dead design. Dead by design.
Maybe.
Dead by Dawn.
No.
Dead-
Look, your globs are showing.
I know.
Fix
I
your
haven't
globs.
gotten there yet.
Almatra Art says, looks great,
You can
Al.
see that's my next
Love the
one.
yellow eyes. Michael and Lindsay Kyle says, what was in the airbrush for the nose? Poly?
That was, hold on,
Liquitex.
Liquitex Clear High Gloss Varnish. Liquitex High Gloss Varnish.
Drop Dead Design Studios.
Drop Dead Design Studios.
Super close.
Something
Yes.
that just doesn't roll off the tongue. I'm sorry.
I remember a lot of dead things.
Well, there's a lot of dead names in the industry.
Your face
We
is
still
dead.
love
Your
you.
mom is a dead name. Tom Everett says, is it a community college?
It would be. It'd be a werewolf. It would be a pack college. Oh,
Zing. Realm says, oh, okay, thanks.
that wasn't as funny as I hoped.
Didn't quite have the behind it.
Can you slide down a little bit?
I wonder what it would take to get your Monster College stuff accredited. Like, credits that would transfer to an art.
There's been a couple nights where I went down the rabbit hole looking at that.
Yeah.
And it's not actually that difficult.
Mass Slasher says, what do you do to blend the hair in with glue?
Smudge with my finger. I just pull it. You know, you fit it out. And I'm using transparent silicone, so it's not like it's a big, oh, that looks good on camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. It's clear silicone, so it's not like it's going to go off as a colored glue.
Thank you, Scott Colhart, for the Liquitex varnish link. So you can definitely get it from other places than Hobby Lobby.
Yeah.
Tina Kusiak says, so to be part of the Pac-12 sports,
That's right.
competitive werewolfing.
When I was a youngster, like
He was a young warthog.
anything that I was doing, I would like pretend it was an Olympic event. And I was, like, there were other countries, and I was Team Monster. Because the Monsters had their own country, and they entered in the Olympics.
Now I really want to make you a set of like the classic Universal monsters in like their little matching tracksuits.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like if I was shot putting, I was Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Exactly like that.
The ball flies, his arm flies. Detaches at the shoulder. Like,
Just see the arm flapping behind it as it goes.
So what I'm doing now is I'm just drying this off so that I can wax these teeth. And this stuff does dry really fast.
Ron Shep says, where does the actor see out of these masks if the eyes are painted?
Okay, so you have some options. You could cut the whole eye out. But I wanted to preserve that sculpted eye.
Don't realize.
And if you look right there, that corner is cut out and that back side is cut out. Both of those are cut out. So you can actually see fairly well with a little bit of peripheral and then straight on right there. It's so close to your eye that it's like a knothole in a fence. That tiny hole an inch away from your eye, I can't see anything. 2 inches away, I can't see anything. But if it's half an inch away from your eye, then yeah, you can see.
Rachel Little says, gives new meaning to hallowed halls.
Yeah.
Blankirk Thor says, dad jokes. Cat Swift says, it's those little tidbits of info that explain so much about Alan.
Yeah, I shouldn't be explained.
Masato K says, love you all. We love you too, Masato.
Woohoo! Masato.
Thank you, Scott Colhart, for the Drop Dead Design Studios link.
Thanks, Scott.
Hey, Masato. I don't know if, and we may already be past this point with something that we're doing, but I know we planned on asking you this at one point and never actually got around to it. But would you be willing to draw us up a shop monkey? Your idea of what a shop monkey is. We have something we're trying to do.
Just tell them what you're doing.
We're making shop monkey jackets.
We're getting cool jackets, y'all.
Get cool jackets for the shop monkeys.
The Shop Monkey Gang.
And
I voted for Pink Lady because no one was on my side.
no one.
Not a single
Zero.
soul.
Yeah, we love your art, so we had discussed it a few times, and I don't know if anybody ever actually said it.
And Stan came up with 3 really cool designs, and of course all of us liked, like every individual
All of us
liked a
love
different
different
design. Lisa Arendt says, cool idea. Masato is so talented.
Yeah, we We love your stuff, and it might already, we kind of have already decided on the design, so not guaranteeing anything.
Listen,
but
I'm pro
but-
more Shop Monkey merch.
we love Shop Monkey merch, yes. Cause we like stuff too.
Are you throwing a monkey wrench into the Shop Monkey shirt?
Wah,
No.
wah, wah. I was waiting for it. Cause yeah, we actually have totally decided on this design, did tweaks on it. Yeah, we're.
Stan's watching the feed like, what? Why?
Why do you do this to me?
This is what happens when you don't show up, Stan. Shenanigans ensue when
You
we're
could have
not
been here,
we're
showed
not-
finished design.
properly supervised.
Stacy, I've been
Yes.
seriously debating what you said, and I'm looking at the piece from back here. And I'm going to stand by my decision.
Okay.
I think you would lose the strength of the furrowed brow.
I don't disagree. I just wondered.
Hairlines, man. Hairlines are something you have to work on, you know?
Cat Swift says, if it happens, you must also make little vests for the fur babies, doggos, and cats.
I don't know if the cats are shop monkeys. They're more like,
They're really not.
they're merciless.
The dogs are not shop monkeys
They're
either.
slave driving taskmasters.
The dogs are thieves. Like,
Rob O'Brien says, amok, amok, amok.
Yeah.
dogs are thieves.
Rob O'Brien says, the cats are management.
Right. Wait, there's a book series that I read, and there's a dragon named Management.
I like it.
I forget what book series it is right now. I'm willing to bet that it has to do with hunting monsters, because,
Huh.
Gee, shock.
Really?
yeah, read a lot of those.
Just my shocked face. Oh man, maybe I just haven't been this close to you when you've been doing these teeth before. That wax has a smell.
Oh, this smells awesome. It smells wonderful. Have a whipperoni. And you gotta get close.
Oh, no. Yeah.
No.
Nice.
No,
God.
I don't like
I
it.
was
What?
so confused. Picked it up and went, what happened?
Yeah, you gotta try your thing. Well, it's mine.
I had
Well,
this,
you see.
I should use this.
What happened was,
Underbeard on this is hard.
What's that?
The underbeard on this is hard.
Okay.
It is.
Just because something is hard, doesn't mean it's not worth doing.
Never said it wasn't worth doing.
That's what he said.
I will trim this wool right over the back of your neck.
Well, so
cruelty.
why don't sheep just walk around itching all the time?
Because they're on the inside.
When we were young, when I was young, we had wool blankets that were like surplus World War II blankets. And they were like giant wool felt. And they were itchy and nasty. Yeah.
That's what I've used a lot of those blankets before.
Yeah.
A lot.
Got a home for a sheet underneath there.
Mine were green and had a big US on one side of it.
So were mine. Remember, I grew up right near Avenue Proving Ground.
That's true.
So we got a lot of stuff from base. I need a paper towel.
It's always the same thing.
Only if the syllables line up.
That's true. Today mine's been living on a prayer, so. Everything's living on a prayer.
Yes. Even things that don't even sound good.
Yeah.
That
Well,
way.
you know.
Even a little. Okay, I'm calling this boy done.
Who's a good bull?
Who's a good
He's a good
werewolf?
bull.
It is really hard for me to get lined up in this camera
Yeah.
because of the shape of it.
Yeah, he's a pretty boy.
All right, Lanny and Beth Williams. You've got like it. Ding. Okay. And you know, with the color of this hair, it made the gray on his face really go blue.
Blue, yeah.
It went blue. And like I see it with my eye too, and on camera, but I did not paint, they didn't look blue at all when I started. It's the color of the wool on there. And I wonder if that orange opposite on the color wheel is blue. I wonder if that is pulling blue out of this. Weird.
We'll see what it is. Ben Godwolf says awesome. Lisa Arendt says beautiful.
Thanks, guys. I have some touch-up paintery that I need to do on the other ones, including,
I wanna look at that.
we're just gonna move this one closer to Rue.
Beth Williams
As a
says
visual
thank you, love
reference.
it.
Thank you. I need that.
And then I'm gonna move this guy over here. And stab the snot out of my hand. Oh,
Do it.
okay.
Ow.
Ouch. That's what I do. I stab into a different head in the exact same spot.
Of course.
I'm smart. What a shade. Boy, this is HD. It's really killing me.
If you go back and watch this stream when you're up close.
You get the up to the eyeballs thing too going
Yeah, you
on?
can grow a beard from the eyes down.
Yep. We got the same problem.
Tina Kusiak says, love the wool for the werewolves, just amazing. Gregory Haynes says, I was wondering if the color was gray or blue from being close to Alan's shirt.
Just gray. It's just gray. Yeah, I guess my shirt could. My
could be
shirt
the
could train the
reflection off.
camera, you know. But
But in person they look pretty blue too.
in person, yeah. And you know what? This one doesn't have orange, and I don't see near as much blue in it.
Gregory Haynes says, I was wondering, Michelle Truce says, looks terrific. Ron
Thanks.
Shep says, are the colors on camera closer to what you're seeing in the shop with the new camera?
I think, yeah, I'd say so. Camera looks great on OBS. And if you're having issues with blurriness or fuzziness, I'd highly recommend you just checking your YouTube settings and make sure you're at 720, 1080p
And
numbers.
And it
Make sure you have
periodically just
numbers.
decides it's going to change it back to whatever, like the less high resolution settings for like reasons. Like,
Only knows
oh, like only knows.
to the powers of YouTube.
And so even if you've changed it fairly recently, if you're having some blurriness, check again. Sometimes it resets.
If it's blurry for more than 4 hours,
Go
see a
doctor.
I wanted to pause long enough that all of you said it with me, but not so long that you stole my thunder. That's the key to those kind
Your
of,
timing was perfect.
to that comedic timing. And I'm going to experiment on this one because it's mine, and I'm going to do a little bit of just flesh tone dry brush on these areas.
Areas?
Areas.
Ron Shep says, it looks great. I just remember they used to say the colors looked a lot different from what you saw in person.
They used to. This is a different camera and a different setup.
Jeff Bull says, Ben gives his stamp of approval. They are really scary and kind of creepy.
Awesome, Ben. Thank you so much. Yeah, they look good from back here.
Michelle Truce says, I watched on a 4K streaming TV and it looks awesome. And my last name is Frost with a T. Did I say Trost?
Roast.
Trust.
Frost.
Last name is Frost with a T. Trust. Michelle Trust. Gotcha. Trust.
Hooray.
You know, I like it when people tell us those things.
Yeah, me
Because
too.
then they can sometimes, it's happened before, we've always just said their names wrong or something like that, and then they introduce themselves to us and say their name's right, and we
We're like,
don't know who it
"Aw."
is because we don't associate the name said correctly with who it is.
Fondian says, I just ordered a replica human skull and have some very intricate magic symbols a friend drew, and I want to transfer a copy of them onto the skull. Any suggestions as to how?
Okay, what is the replica skull made out of? Because obviously dremeling is fine, or they actually have acid markers, which will do etching, and then you do a rub out with like wax.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh yeah,
that's
a thing.
Look for acid markers.
Oh, that's exciting.
They're not near as expensive as you think they would be.
Ooh, that's dangerous information to
Yeah,
have.
it's kind of like an acid etch.
Fondian says it's resin.
Yeah, I mean, the acid might work, or, Dremel's nice too. I like that.
A less, or potentially less involved version of that might be, depending on how intricate the symbols are and how confident you feel in your ability to replicate them, I believe they make a printer paper that you can make your own transfers on. It's like water slide paper or something like that. It's basically like
Yeah,
temporary
water slide.
tattoo paper
Yep.
that you can print on. And
I have a bunch over there.
Ooh, that's fun.
I use them for prostate transfer.
There you go.
But another thing to do is you can paint the symbols you want on with latex. Then spray the whole skull with Plasti Dip, like 3 or 4 coats. Peel off your latex symbols that you did. And then the whole skull has a resist except for that area. And then you can just spray paint and it won't go underneath the Plasti Dip. You let that spray paint dry and cure, and you peel the Plasti Dip off, because it's a mask basically, and then you'll have your etchings.
So maybe test on the back of the skull or the bottom or something to see if it won't affect the paint, depending on if it's a straight resin cast or if it's a painted resin.
Yeah, it's true.
Always test on the back.
Oh, yeah, always testing that.
Now see, I like that a lot. I think that brings it closer to the hair color.
Well, it's adding warmth in.
Yeah, that warmth is nice. Ben
Because-
Godwolf says the nose looks wet, gives it a very realistic look.
Yes.
But that's on purpose.
Yeah, this is warming him up a little bit. You don't want your werewolves to look undead, you know?
Unless you do.
You don't. Undead.
No undead werewolves.
No. Nope. Leave your undeads undead.
That's
No clown werewolves, no undead werewolves.
something wrong with zombie werewolves?
No werewolf doctors. Yes, a werewolf is
Werewolf
alive
doctor.
and a zombie is dead. Yes.
Well, my rigor is only people call it. It's a different monster.
It's a
not
different,
zombie.
it is its own thing.
It's not a zombie werewolf. Totally.
Okay. Alright, so now you can see where this guy is. This is Mikey Severe, and I think it's Mikey Severe Spook Show is his company name. Mikey Severe sculpted this. I just did all the finish work.
What's on his?
That's a
A
little
hole?
hole,
Oh, okay.
and I'm going to patch that.
I wondered if it was a spot. I didn't see.
I had a little trim booger.
I hate it when that happens.
This guy's fun.
Yeah. Good job, Mikey Sabine. Good job, you.
And let's get him out of the way. And now I want to do the same like flesh dry brushing on the werewolf I just did. I want to pull away from that blue. Cool for like a video game. Who was the werewolf? John Talbane? Or, yeah, Talbane, or, I don't think they called him Talbot. From Night
was
Stalkers? Night Creatures? Night Stalkers? Night Stalkers.
I think it was Talbot.
Maybe it was Talbot.
Now, if you weren't going to bring the skin tone warmer, what could you do to the hair? Like, could you airbrush the hair to bring it cooler? What color would you do on that to cool it
I would
down?
actually just do a little bit of black and tie it in. Hit the hairline, pull it through a little bit. I don't want a lot on here. I'm not changing the color so much as I'm changing the temperature.
Chad Smith says, I posted pics with the fifth mouth. It resembles Guido from Star Wars, so I'm not super happy with it, but I like it the best so far.
I once rented a movie called The Fifth Mouth.
Lisa Arendt says, good looking pack.
That's supposed to tell people about that one.
Ezekiel says, how's Harry Palms Rue doing over back there?
I'm pretty sure his palms are hairy.
Harry.
Von Diane says, thanks. It's a medical reference skull. I'll try the transfer paper and resist to the acid etch. I'm basically going to turn it into a Raspberry Pi media computer. Ooh.
Very nice.
It's based on Bob from the Dresden.
Yeah, I was about to
books.
say, you're making Bob.
I guess I need to read those. I've heard a couple of strong recommendations.
They're pretty excellent. I'm a fan. I'm caught up with the lore. I enjoy the books.
Did you watch the show at all?
No.
I actually kind of like the show too. References are overrated.
That means he's winging it.
Realm says, good night, had fun.
Good night, Realms. I did the ears first because I'm being cautious. Like Stacey said, test on the back. I don't have a back, but I have ears. I'm kind of just doing a dry brush so that there's some warm tones in here along with that gray. See, I'm really having to kind of scrub to get the color off, which is what I want.
Von Diane says, we don't mention the monstrosity that sci-fi made.
I liked it.
Hey, there you go. Have you read the books?
No.
That's why you liked it.
Yeah, probably.
Michelle Trost says, love Dresden, not the TV series so much, mostly the books.
Yeah, books are great.
It's my opinion on Ready Player One.
I like their take on the vampires. I like the vampire courts. I like a lot of the Dresden mythos. I'm kind of a mythos guy.
Yeah, that's definitely what I need right now is a whole new book series to dive into
So that's sarcasm.
in my spare time.
Audiobooks.
Yeah.
You do enough driving.
I do. But I got so many podcasts. Thank you, Scott Kohler, for sharing the Mikey Severe Spook Show MonsterMasks.com.
Thank you very much.
.com.
Now, Mikey Severe is kind of an art house mask maker, so
Oh yeah?
yeah. I'm more of my masks do work. They're haunted house pieces.
Functional.
Yeah. And his are pieces of art, and I think he goes more for the collector market.
That's all right.
So I think that mask is like 200 something, but it's lovely. All right, that's done. That's done. Look at how much warmer we made him.
Yeah.
This paint job now reminds me of the Timberwolf mask from Don Post. Way back. And this is how, even through that whole process, there was something we didn't like, so we changed it. You know, through that whole process, it's done. It got hair and it got all of it. And then it's like, let's fix
Even
that.
said, calling this guy done.
Ezekiel says, have you done a clerical hair job on the moving jaw werewolf mask you made?
Not yet, but I'm sure it's coming. Because that'll be fun.
That's gonna suck.
So much hair.
That's kind of what I was thinking, Rue.
coming, but it's gonna suck.
Scott Little says, I like how you made the nose look smaller the other night. It came out something.
Yes.
It came out, it entered too soon.
Yeah. Well, or
Came out
it's
nice.
so big that it cut off. That's possible too. It does that.
Sometimes.
Sometimes you get dot dot dot.
But we didn't get dot, dot, dot.
No.
Got dot.
Rob O'Brien says, well, now that you have Rue trained up,
That's right.
dot, dot, dot.
Speaking of which, it's all on Rue now. Now it's the Rue Show. It's Rue.
Hey, I'm down.
It's Rue. It's Rue. Rue.
We'll leave that part out.
I'm liking it. It's looking good.
Ezekiel says he's hairy Rue now, not greasy Rue.
I am hairy. You should see how much hair I have all over my pants.
I'm gonna go find the teeth mold for the Jersey Devil.
Back porch, right side, eye level.
Thanks.
Hey now. I'm right here.
That's fine. I don't care who you know.
John Sheffield says the TV series is what got me into the book series.
See, obviously you didn't hate it.
I have major strong recommendations on that from a buddy of mine who does chainmail stuff.
Yeah.
She's like, I cannot believe you haven't read this yet.
Huh.
It's on the list. Also, the frustrating thing for me about audiobooks is that they go so slow. Like, I am a very, very fast reader, and to match the reading speed that I have, like, with my eyeballs, I have to listen to it sped up to near, like,
See, I can't do that. Like,
not understandable.
I
speeds.
read in the way people speak,
Mhm.
which and it's like, I am such a slow reader because I read in the way people speak. So, I can't speed read or read fast at all. It
Yeah.
gives me such a problem.
But I guess I don't, like I hear it all in a normal speed, I guess, but I just consume it very quickly.
What are we consuming?
Dialogue in books.
Oh.
Rue was saying that he reads really slow because he reads the way people speak, like the speed that people speak. And I read really fast. The thing I struggle with audiobooks is that they're so slow, and even speeding them up, it's slower than I can read.
I speed it up to 2x.
Rob O'Brien says Stacy's a fast speaker. That literally used to be my job. This is not even fast.
I normally
Stacey, just
will.
do a human trick.
No.
I will normally speed up the audiobook to 2x.
Yeah.
And that's how I take it in.
It's frustrating to me because I have to speed it up to a point where it's nearly like unrecognizable to even come close to matching it. Lisa Arent says, "Tell us about your current project, Stacy. Doing any cosplays?" I'm not currently doing any well, I mean, I guess I'm working on a Panther.
She too busy to cosplay.
So I'm working on long-term, working on Panther for PowerCon. But that's just in planning stages. I'm making some more headdresses, some new headdresses.
For the record, I ordered a roll of purple fur.
Y'all, I'm so spoiled. Alan was making a fur order, and I was like, get a roll of purple. And he's like, what for? And I was like, for Panther. And he's like, you don't need a whole roll for that. And I was like,
Well, I thought of another use for it.
well, good. And let's see, I guess I'm working on, am I allowed to talk about the thing that's on the other table?
Sure.
I'm making some art dolls. There's apparently been some interest in the Krampus art doll, so I'm going to make some of those. I'm going to make some other interesting.
Because if you want to sell something, teach people how to make it. And then
Have them do it.
And then, once you do a video on exactly how to make it, people go, hey, can I buy that?
That's because they realize it's not easy.
It's that was very frustrating in the beginning. And now I realize if I want to sell something, I'm just going to teach people how to make it, and then they'll ask me to buy it.
Ron Shep says, that's how I watch YouTube videos, 2X.
Yeah, me too.
That I do.
Which one of these are you using?
Yes.
Thank you, Scott Colehart, for sharing my haunted headdresses link.
That's,
Sausage.
you're failing at the,
Good God.
Going great.
Ezekiel says, is cosplay the term frowned upon? No judgment for me. I get a vibe that sometimes it's looked down on. Not
by me.
Yeah.
what do you think I'm like leaning over your shoulder, bro?
Really the only difference between costuming for the haunted attraction industry or any other industry and cosplay is cosplayers, by and large, are just doing it because they love it. Some places do, like, book professional cosplayers, and there are people who do that for their jobs, but again, most of them got into it just because they loved making costumes and being characters.
And cosplay is also, it's hard to understand because it's a hobby. It is, there really isn't a cosplay industry. There isn't a cosplay, there are businesses that support cosplay.
Yeah.
But there's not a cosplay industry.
Yet.
You know, there are certainly more cosplayers than there are people who want to hire cosplayers.
Yes.
And the caliber at which you have to be hired is higher than most cosplay folks.
Rob O'Brien says, the reason I started the cosplay Facebook group was because the costume people group was snobbish for them. Yeah, I hate that. Don't gatekeep stuff. Like, there's just no reason for it.
I will say, occasionally, you don't hear the word cosplay quality very often. Like, I've never heard those words together, really. You know, you hear movie quality, but...
Well, it's because you're emulating a thing. Like, most cosplay is not original characters.
Exactly. Easy killer. Easy. What I'm saying is, they're doing it for a con. They're doing it to survive a con, and sometimes even make it so it looks good from this one angle. When they take pictures of me, this is the pose that I'll do. And those aren't luxuries that I have when I'm making stuff for a haunted house.
Yes.
Because the actors are going to roll around on the floor, and they're gonna you know, try and ride a goat while they're wearing this costume. All of those things. And that doesn't happen as much unless you're Deadpool in the costume world, you know.
Ben Godwell said, I thought Alan was cutting latex, and I saw him toss the pieces into his mouth. Then I realized it was food.
Yeah. Stan left a summer sausage here, and I'm eating the heck out of it. Want a peach, Stacey?
Sure. Lancook Thor says, one-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people eater. Rob O'Brien says, we all start somewhere, and cosplayers are really pushing innovation. Well, yeah, and you've got some cosplayers like Yaya Han that are kind of being able to translate that into business enterprise.
Correct.
Making stuff for other cosplayers,
Yes.
which I love. I love that.
So, my favorite industry, and I'm going to go a little wider shot. I think you guys have had multiple hours of close-up werewolfery. My favorite business model is that of a Ren Fair. And here's why. When you go to a Ren Fair, you put on a costume that you can only wear at the Ren Fair, really. And you buy things to wear at the Ren Fair next time you go, like a sword or another pirate shirt or whatever, or lots of pottery. You can buy a bunch of pottery at a Renaissance festival. But because it's those kind of things, it lends itself to the Ren Fair. The Ren Fair charges the vendors to be there. They pay a percentage or whatever for their booth. The customers come and they pay to get in, to buy the stuff to wear to the Ren Fair next time. And then normally the Ren Fair owns the food that they buy when they're at the Ren Fair. So what a weird little microcosm business, you know? It's such a weird industry. And cosplay is kind of like that. Mm-hmm. I made this good cosplay thing. I'm going to sell it to other cosplayers. Like that's your market, you know?
Well, and like, I guess in terms of cosplay quality, to go back to that a little bit, you do have some big industry names, again, like Yaya Han, who made some original stuff, like that peacock dress. So the peacock dress that I've shared
Yeah.
that I made in the group. That is a cosplay of a Yaya Han original.
Right.
And then she put out a pattern for that dress a couple of years later, and I was so thrilled because it was a pain in the butt for me to try and recreate that pattern from pieces of other patterns and self-drafting and stuff. And so it's really cool that she saw a desire for people to make that same thing that she had made, and then put out a commercial pattern for other people to be able to do it.
And I think
I even left the knife there.
scissors are very efficient. Scissors are efficient cutters of things.
Ezekiel says, I've seen a few eye rolls when cosplay gets mentioned from professional makers. I didn't quite get the eye roll.
That's because cosplay covers all levels. Like when you say haunted house, are you talking a haunted house that has plastic walls and Spirit Halloween animatronics? Or are you talking a haunted house that has animatronics from a haunted house supply company, costumes by, you know what I mean? Or are you talking a multi-million dollar, there's all levels of haunted house. So that's why sometimes you get an eye roll when you say haunted house too. There's all levels of plumbing. There is a standard for plumbing. Things have to be built to code. There's no cosplay code. So you might have armor made out of duct tape, armor made out of fiberglass, armor made out of metal, all at the same show. And all the same character, just done in all these different styles. So that's why you get an eye roll. Even the guy who made his out of metal, or had it made, might eye roll at the guy who shows up in a perfectly fine looking EVA foam suit of armor. So, yes.
Horror Beauty says, hello creepers, Alan Rue and company, hope everyone is well.
We're well. I made a werewolf. Well, I helped.
I helped.
I made
It's a werewolf, and I helped.
Hmm?
And the thing I like about cosplay stuff, especially, like I'm seeing more and more of it recently, is people combining characters and stuff and making...
I hate that.
I know you do, but
I hate mashups. I hate them. I don't like them at all.
I love it. I want to take all of my favorite things and roll them up into a giant thing, and I friggin'
Well,
love
you
it.
do that on your own time and never show anyone. That's what I want.
Like the whole line of Disney princess, like Boba Fett's, or like Mandalorian characters.
Yep.
I
What
love
a great
that.
way to sully and dirty the image of Boba Fett.
Oh, please.
Make him a princess. I
You didn't
hate
make
it.
him
Thanks.
a princess. You
I
made
hate it.
Princesses awesome bounty hunters.
Why can't princesses just be awesome?
But they can be. They totally can be. But what if you like princesses and bounty hunters, and there's nothing that represents that?
Then you be a bounty hunter and dress your boyfriend up like a princess. Or get a friend.
Why can't you have both?
Bring a friend to the show.
Listen, you get my peanut butter and your chocolate.
I don't want that. I want peanut butter and I want chocolate.
But it's not for you. It's for people who like peanut butter and chocolate together. Not everything has to be for you, Ellen.
I'm not saying they don't have a right to do it. I'm just saying I hate it. There's a difference.
Rob O'Brien says, I love mashups. Lisa Arendt says, Star Wars mashups are pretty cool. Ezekiel says, thanks for explaining the cosplay stuff. You're
Well,
welcome.
okay, that's our interpretation of the cosplay stuff.
That's true.
I don't know if I would call that a explanation.
Horror Booty says, very cool werewolf. The eyes look like they're glowing.
Yeah, they are painted that way. Tonight's show is called Man Wanders Around Shop Getting Fatter. That's what's happening right now.
And Rue's back throws a hissy fit.
You wearing a back brace?
Get the comfy chair, dude.
Want to wear a
I
second
think
one?
maybe I need to take the back brace off at this point.
It actually helps to change it up. So what was I talking about?
Ezekiel says, remember, Australia is 30 years behind.
We were talking about mashups, which is why you should do a haunted house there. Just do 80s stuff. They'd love it.
Horror Beauty says, wow, never seen him hate anything this far. Wow, not a fan of mashups either, but damn, Ellen.
Well,
Have you heard him talk about clowns?
here's the thing. All right, so here's the thing about mashups. I think that I have a huge respect for character, and I want people to make up their own character. Make up a character that is inspired by Boba Fett and by a Disney princess.
That's what those
But
are.
no, it isn't. It's half Disney princess and half Boba Fett. They didn't do any of their own
But like if
thinking.
you changed the name on it, like that
Then it
it's-
would still be a garbage copy of two different things. It's neither a good Boba Fett nor is it a good Disney princess.
I disagree.
But you can make up a character who is a little bit this and a little bit that. But do something original.
I guess I like the element
You're
of
stealing two ideas at the same. You're not just stealing one idea. You're not an average thief.
But
You're
so-
a double down thief
but
because you
so-
stole two characters.
But do you consider cosplay then thievery?
Yes, absolutely. It's not. It's not a bad type of thievery.
Sorry,
Gauntlet thrown.
But no, you're stealing intellectual property.
Okay, so I would argue that if you are already stealing intellectual property for the purpose of personal enjoyment cosplay,
Then you might as well steal two.
then you might as well like look, a well done, Snow White Mandalorian, I think is more creative than just a well done Snow White or just a well done Mandalorian.
I would argue that I would rather see a perfectly done Snow White or a perfectly done Mandalorian as opposed to
But I think neither of those takes any real
halfway
creative
on either
effort.
one.
Like coming up with a well-designed, aesthetically pleasing, cohesive, especially if you're doing with more than one princess or whatever. It doesn't have to be princesses, but you get the idea. If you're coming up with a group
That's an
costume,
easy example.
The princesses is my go-to just because I really like that mashup. But I think that coming up with a well-designed and cohesive aesthetic for more than one character, utilizing elements that make it recognizable of both characters, is more creatively taxing than it is to just replicate a perfect Snow White or replicate a perfect Mandalorian.
Correct. And I don't disagree with that.
Right.
But not as creatively taxing as actually making it a character.
Well, of course not. But this is cosplay. We're representing characters that everyone knows and loves.
Then
Rob O'Brien says, I did a gender bent Elsa Ren mashup. Elsa from Frozen and Kylo Ren. Yes! Tom Everard says, no werewolf princesses. Lisa R. says, that's a
Disney
awesome
needs a werewolf princess.
They do.
Okay? And like that girl from Brave is asking to get bit. Like if there's going to be a
She's
werewolf
gonna
princess,
be a werebear.
it should be. That's fine. Any liking for a princess is good with me.
Rob O'Brien says, but then no one knows what that is. Ezekiel says, take the shovel off, Alan. Catswitch says, he's getting really wound up.
Oh,
Susan
it's
Tyler
just,
says,
it's
"We
just,
need a referee
I
soon."
don't like it.
Rob O'Brien says, ban Alan for 5 minutes.
I don't like it. I'm not a fan of mashups.
Amy Reed says, and Rue just keeps his head down and keeps working away.
That's what he does. Yes.
You guys miss a lot of this between Alan and I in the shop. This is something that happens all
Oh,
the time.
absolutely.
Yeah, these
Yeah.
these are daily things, and it's not just these two. It's all of us.
I enjoy deep, stimulating conversation, and I think that we're in an environment where we respect each other,
Absolutely.
and we can do that. No one here is coming from a place of malice or ill will. We just have different opinions, and I think that's fine to talk about and explore. And I have 7
And
minutes
fun.
left
He's
before we
allowed to
end
be
the
wrong.
broadcast.
It's okay.
Rue has 7 minutes left. to
Ron
finish
Shep
the
says,
werewolf.
tell us how you really feel, Alan.
He's doing.
I will. Now, cosplay is awesome. I love cosplay. There are things that, here are some things I do not like about cosplay culture. I don't like the gatekeeping, number one.
Yeah.
I think that the guy in a tinfoil helmet is just as awesome as a person who paid a blacksmith to make one. That's something that I don't like. But I also don't like.
that came to the show.
I also don't like that people think it's appropriate to wear whatever costume they want to whatever event they want.
Should be appropriate.
Don't cosplay
When-
Red fairs.
Well, if you're cosplaying
Deadpool
Winters,
needs to stop showing up at Red Fair.
Don't be Deadpool at a Renaissance festival. Don't be Doctor Who at a Renaissance festival. No. You're going to say, but he travels? No. Don't go for Star Wars characters.
you're breaking the Prime Directive.
I like it to be appropriate to there. When I go to some place like a Renaissance festival or a Star Wars convention, I'm buying into that world. And you are a poor custodian of that world if you are inserting something completely different. Which is why I don't like mashups. So I brought it full circle. That's how you bring it full circle.
Let's sidebar
Yeah.
into our actual mask business here. Realm says, is that a bat mask in the background? Because it's really cool.
No, this is Anubis. and the ears look a little batty because Anubis's ears stand straight up. And when you do something like this big out of latex, there's no reinforcement in here. It's just engineered. These are actually
So thick.
buttresses. This is a ridge to help give this shape and lead these up. You know, so you have to have some structure to it, but it's just latex.
Tony Hawkins says, Justice says Cinderella that turns into a werewolf at midnight.
That could work. Like, I don't mind that. That piece.
No, good. Rob O'Brien says, for what it's worth, I hate a lot of mashups. I hated the Star Wars Weekend's Hoopla show that took those characters out of their world. Ezekiel says, and wear deodorant at a cosplay event.
Well, it's a lot about, it's respecting the world. I'm big on world building. I'm big on character, and you're denying one of them almost always when you mash them up together. But you can create a character that reminds you of and hints at. You know, it's too on the nose. 19 times out of 20, it is too on the nose for me to think it is subtle and intelligent, and it's just, yeah, it's heavy-handed. Most of them are heavy-handed.
Al Mantra Art says, okay, time to stir the pot. Isn't a werewolf a mashup of a human and a wolf?
No. No.
Lisa Arendt says, Masters of the Universe princesses.
I've seen it actually. You can go and look. You can check it out.
Tom Everett says, zombie snail parachute pants. It could be a thing.
Zombie snail parachute.
Ron Chef says, Al, you're going to start a war.
I'm very confused.
Tina Kusiak says, gasps. No Doctor Who at Red Fins. But he time travels.
No.
Quit it.
No.
Quit it.
Rob O'Brien says, for cosplay, that's the audience.
I don't know what he meant by that. Yeah.
I mean, like, if you're going to, like cosplay conventions, like anime conventions,
Yeah.
things like that, where it's dress up as a character, then by all means, wear whatever the hell you want. If you're going to a themed event.
Yes. Okay. At a Krampus parade.
Yes.
At a Krampus parade, I do not want to see Deadpool. I don't want to see a Disney princess at a Krampus parade. That's not what that event is for. And you're poo-pooing that world when you do that. I don't want to see bondage gear at a Krampus festival. We had some of that at the last one that I went to, at a Krampus parade. There are places for that. Go do that there. You know, go do that there.
Finn Godwolf says, Marshall says, lay on.
Well, lay on.
2-minute
Play
warning.
to God, play to the earth, lay on. Have at it.
Rob O'Brien says, right, it's pulling focus.
Yes, it's pulling focus.
Ta-da!
Good job, Rue.
A haired werewolf.
Great work. Well done. I'm gonna paint it.
Chad
You got it
Smith,
done on time.
Chad Smith says, what about a zombie or undead character? Princess as an example.
Okay.
And on that note, you're doing a mashup. Would Walt Disney be happy to see you as a zombie princess? I don't know.
Ooh.
Would a little girl be sad if you killed Cinderella and made her a bleeding, oozing zombie?
But if you're at a horror convention, maybe that's appropriate.
Maybe you can make up your own character. Do something cool.
Maybe you really want to see zombie Ariel.
Well, just do it at home.
Ezekiel says, Rue's done! Squeaky scissors and all.
Rue is done, yes. Were the scissors squeaky? Is the mic that good? Holy moly.
Blackcraft27 says,
Good.
never got into cosplay.
You should, because there's a lot to learn.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of cool stuff in cosplay. There's a lot of skill sets that go into it. And cosplay builders have done a lot for haunt costuming. They've done a lot for all costuming, I think. Because you have so many individuals each taking their own take on, and they're bringing their skill sets to costuming.
Brief pause. Thank you, Lisa Arendt. Is about to lose my wrench. It's been a lot of fun. Thanks, everyone.
Good night, Lisa. Thank you.
If you joined us late tonight, Lisa Arendt was one of our guest moderators because she is a Patreon supporter at the Creature Collector level.
If you want to ban somebody on your way out just for fun, go ahead.
Go for it.
Go ahead. Yeah, just
Too late.
ban them. It's fine.
Ezekiel says, Isley says no on the zombie Disney princess.
Yes.
She's 8.
Yes,
Chad
those.
says, my kids wouldn't be upset, but they're corrupt.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah. Good call, Rue.
You know what? I think there's a lot of skill in making up a character that is like Indiana Jones and Boba Fett mixed together. That isn't just Boba Fett with a frickin' fedora on. And that's the kind of clumsy stroke that happens quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a way to blend them together better and be like, oh my gosh, I can tell that's inspired by that.
Mm-hmm.
I love seeing like the Dora the Explorer cosplays where she's grown up and she's not a little kid. And you can tell it's Dora the Explorer, but it's not like on the nose.
Sure.
You know, that's fine. You've changed it, but you know,
Nice
a
back to work.
mashup should be as delicately handled. A little more finesse would be nice.
Ezekiel says, Zodia says the Disney zombie princess would be cool.
Yes, because he is a young man.
Oh, wow. I don't know how I did that.
Lisa did a very good job.
Yeah.
So did Scott Kohler, as per
The
usual.
rowdiest person tonight, though, was me.
Yeah.
So her job was kind of easy. Yeah. Cosplay. Yeah. Who knew?
Yeah, I knew that was going to be our hot button topic for this evening.
Oh, you know what? And I like cosplay. I like a lot of what cosplay has done for costumes and for
Makers.
no, mentally. It's a great outlet for folks.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a little bit of I'm going to get dressed up so people will take pictures of me, so I feel better about myself, and that's okay. That's not my favorite reason why people are in it, but I think that actually has some merit as a positive.
Ezekiel says Disney zombie princesses would be better than another Michael Myers.
Well, there is that.
Cat Swift says someone needs to call Shannon and have her bring in the dogs. He needs some happy lovin'.
I'll get it here in a bit.
Al Machart says great job on the hair, Rue.
Thank you.
Tom Everard says I need a steampunk Tinkerbell costume for a customer one time. I love that.
Yeah.
Only took me like an hour longer than the pro.
Rob O'Brien says cosplay is a gateway drug.
It is. And I can trick cosplayers into working a haunted house. I can do that.
Oh yeah. I would say maybe you want to put it back on for the hoisting of molds.
It's one mold. He'll be fine.
One mold, yeah. I'm good. I'd have the light mold.
Rodney Pope says I have nieces that would like the zombie princess, and I have nieces that would be scarred for life.
Yeah, and
Light mold.
Okay,
Ezekiel says
so-
Rue needs a shave now.
you did not invent that character. You did not invest millions of dollars to get that character being well known and to build goodwill. So I don't like when people reap the reward of a mashup because they didn't invest anything. They have nothing in it.
Well, I mean, I don't think that's true though. You invested the time and effort to make the costume. That's like saying somebody who makes a totally screen accurate like Cinderella costume didn't, put like they didn't do any of the development on that either. I mean, you're still investing the time and effort and money and man hours to create a thing.
Yes, but in the scope of, because it's a known character, you're still stealing that intellectual property.
Sure,
And
but
that's why you're doing it.
But doing a mashup character and doing a regular cosplay are no different in that regard. You're still using that
You're
intellectual
correct. I did say earlier that kind of all cosplay is stealing a little bit.
Uh-huh.
You know, when it's all within the same world,
Mhm.
I like that more.
Okay.
Like Ren Fair, like I love seeing a Dread Pirate Roberts at a Renaissance festival.
Yeah,
That's cool.
That's appropriate.
I like seeing Geralta Rivia at a Renaissance festival.
Oh, and we're gonna.
That's cool. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Chad says, I agree with you, Alan, on the mashup. I'm not a fan, mostly because I like to see how close people can get to the on-screen character.
Well, I'll leave them there for now. I'll figure it out.
Ezekiel says, Isley says you can zombie up the Disney prince. Ezekiel says, Isley wants to see Stacy's new locks.
Oh, show me her.
Hers.
This is my new hair. I'm pretty happy with it. Ray helped me do it. She did a very good job. Hi, Icy.
I can get this 100% done tonight, so I'm going to. We're
Do
5
it.
minutes long. We're gonna be 5 minutes later.
That's all right.
How dare us?
Ezekiel says she loves it. Or
Oh.
he says love the color.
Man mode active.
Mike Dennis says hair looks awesome. Rob O'Brien says mermaid hair. Yes. There was a point at which, when I was working at the captioning company, where they didn't have a rule against it, and it dawned on me, I've chosen a path in my life that there is no one to stop me from having exactly the wild colored hair that I've dreamed of since the movie Hook came out. Your Beastman was 100% my Lady Lovely locks and the mermaids in Hook.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, I could have that in real life, and I'm gonna. Tony was like, I don't care, do your hair, it's your hair. And
See, I'm making a Beastman costume.
see, there you go, it's perfect.
I haven't done any of the work on designing the character. I know that. Oh, what? What?
Because he just honestly asked if Alan could do his beard like that.
No.
Michelle Frost says nice hair. Susan Tice says
Thought
hair
of a
was
saying
beautiful.
that
Finn
might have
Donnelly
gotten me
says,
chased
cool
around the
hair,
shop
Stacey.
by Alan.
Cat Swift says someone should check his cup. He seems to be getting a bit more animated as the night goes
I don't even have any malt wine.
You're making Beastman because you love Beastman.
Yes,
And you made the mask because you love Beastman.
but if I wanted to mix Beastman and Chewbacca, I would be wrong. And I shouldn't do that.
Listen, I myself would love to see an 8-foot tall orange. I want to see an 8-foot tall orange, like, epic Beastman. What would his weapon be, though? Would he get
Who?
a Chewbacca and Beastman?
I'm not even considering it. We're not discussing it.
It's still a crossbow.
Yeah.
It's a bolo caster. It is not a crossbow.
Woo! Frosty.
Well, it would be a crossbow for Beastman.
We're not discussing it.
Rob O'Brien says a cosplay Beastman character.
Yeah, I'm doing Beastman. For sure.
Ezekiel says rainbow Beastman costume in the works. I do have the hot pink fur. And we're getting the purple. I could totally make this
Rainbow Beastman. Ta-da-da-da-da.
Kick her out. Everybody, thanks for hanging out with us. I'm sorry this is Stacy's last night. I hope you guys enjoyed your time with her.
I have sullied Beastman. I'm sorry.
Rue, say goodnight.
Good night, Rube.
Stacy, say goodnight for the last time. Good night, everybody. And as always, I say, weirdly,
Bum bum bum.